Hi, everybody. I always say everybody. I don't know if there's anybody on, but anybody who's here, hi. Welcome to, I guess, what we're calling our session 11.5, as we are missing one of our crew members. That feels like the right thing to call it, but it also feels really cheesy in this game to call everyone crew members, you know?
Who we are?
But yeah, we're missing Kayla tonight, so we are going to be playing a little spin-off one-shot. Well, maybe these will become a little bit more recurring episodes in their own right, depending on how many times people need breaks. But we are going to be running a group of Dowar pirates as they raid, new product for Gary's Emporium, or Wandering Emporiums. They are, I believe we said that you guys are going to be Gary's cousins.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Gary's cousins, and you guys go and pilfer the products that he sells, which gives Gary like a real dark side that I wasn't, expecting when we started, laying this out. Like now he's like a mob boss more than anything.
What if he's totally innocent and his cousins just bring him back things and he's like, "This is wonderful, thank you
He just
so
doesn't
much."
know. I like that even better. Yeah, he's just running this business thinking that like his, cousins are really good at in acquisitions, but it turns out they're really good in acquisitions.
Yeah, because we're basically the Doar mob. He just doesn't know it.
No, Gary, I swear it fell off a ship.
Oh, now that like makes him the putz. Like you guys are using him to launder your money.
There's no good way to look at it.
No, they're all good ways to look at it.
Yeah, I think they're all amazing. But yeah, we will. I think we're just gonna like pretty much dive right into it. Other than I'll give you guys a moment to actually introduce your characters, as much as there is an introduction, which I can will mostly be your name, class, and I guess color. Anything else you want us to let us know about your character, obviously. But yeah, I guess we'll just run through. Everyone can say hi. I mean, I don't need to say your names. You guys, run it around.
Hi, I'm Cade. Tonight I'm going to be playing Barry.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
I said the thing. I'm going to be playing Barry. He is a chartreuse Dowar, which is like a puke green, and he is a Circle of Wildfire druid. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So I'm playing Terry, who is a Hexblade Warlock, Rainbow Dowar, and I chose Failed Merchant for his background. Not a very good merchant, but pretty good at stealing stuff.
I like that.
Hey, I'm Ruin, and I am playing Larry, the green Dowar. I don't have a fancy chartreuse or whatever color green. It's just green. And I am playing a drunken monk Dowar.
Yeah, an interesting group of criminals, I would say. I mean, they're a
Who would
little
suspect
more
three
criminal
Dowar?
choices.
Who would suspect 3 Dowar?
Yeah, I like this idea that you guys are like you're like perfectly like you look like normal Dowar. You're not like rocking like any major scars across your eyes or anything like that. You're just like just completely inconspicuous. You just look like these friendly guys, but you're always just get into people's stuff and taking it.
I'm not going to say the name of the website that we all would have played in our youths, but there's a specific website that is now owned by some religion, some celebrity religion that now owns it, and that's exactly the type of penguin I imagine.
Did they
I didn't
own
even
that
actually
one
think
too?
about
Because
that
I know they
connection.
own Neopets.
That's
say it.
definitely the one.
I
was
thought you
the
were
one.
talking Club Penguin. I was like, what? They
Oh,
got Club
no.
Penguin too?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yes,
I absolutely thought you were talking Club Penguin.
Oh no, I was thinking Neopets. That's Disney, so who knows? That might be its own cult altogether. I mean, not cult. Religion.
Certified religion. Tax exempt status.
I'm getting doxxed, guys.
Everyone's computers just randomly shut down all at the exact same time now.
I don't think Miscavige has that kind of power. He seems like a dumpy little
I
man.
think so. Yeah, but like I said, I think we'll just dive right in. I will set the scene a little bit here. So, all three of you are currently encased in darkness, but this is nothing for you to be worried about. You put yourselves in this situation. In the darkness, your minds would, kind of drift through flashes of how you got here. A dingy bar talking to an informant. The three of you surrounding a map of the astral sea and your asteroid. hideout. You three piling into a crate, being sealed and eventually placed on your target. A shipping barge headed to the Marigot system, and suddenly a trickle of light comes through the top of the crate, and the one above you has been moved. As your eyes adjust, you see the familiar faces of your compatriots, Barry, Larry, and Terry. And then you do hear the shuffling begin to quiet, and you kind of get the idea that it's likely that whoever had been shuffling around all of the cargo at the moment has stopped and has went away. What do you do?
Can I do a perception check to see if I hear anybody else moving around?
Absolutely.
That's a 19.
Ooh, 19's pretty good. You kind of get your Barry. So you get Larry and Terry just to be extra quiet for the moment and really put out your. I guess they have ears still, but you don't think of penguins and ears. They're not really a thing that's synonymous. They have ears, but you don't think about them. But you put your penguin ears into the maximal use, and you don't hear anybody shuffling around, anything like that. You do hear like a faint, like but very continuous and like repetitious. That's the same word exactly. I don't know what I was gonna go with there, but breath that is just very consistent. It's low, kind of quiet, and you get the idea that whatever is making that noise is like pretty relaxed or probably sleeping. It's not snoring per se, but it's very rhythmic.
Hey guys! I think the coast is clear.
What coast? I thought we're on the coast.
I mean, Astral Sea. Everything's the coast.
Yeah, okay, that checks out.
Think. Try to like slowly peek outside the tent or outside the crate.
Well, you are nailed in.
Oh, we're nailed in. Oh, never
currently.
mind then.
I was gonna say I
You
feel like
were
all three have to
sealed.
pop their eyes up at one time.
I was gonna go for that cartoony little.
Yeah.
We're all just one right after the other.
This is gonna go Penguins of Madagascar, lickety split. So quick. You know what? I would definitely. Larry would try to bust out of here so he could start punching away at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a strength check then.
Oh no, I don't have good strength.
Can I-
But that's okay.
Help
I'll still
action?
make it.
Can I give him
What's
the
the
help
worst?
action? By
Yeah. If both of you
able
guys are like put your back behind it too, you can he can roll with advantage.
Okay, so the first would be a 9, and the second would be a 5. So a 9.
You're welcome. That.
I forgot that I'm dexterous.
Yeah, as you guys all go to push against it, you give it all that you have, and it's not even that you're sure like that you were like you couldn't move it. It just seems to be that the angles of the nails or something are messing around. Like it's taking more force than you think you can currently muster at the moment to
Is
try
it
and
cracking
get the,
open at all?
No, I feel like you guys I feel like that roll for sure. You're like bulging the wood, like the wood is shifting. You can feel it move, but it
Yeah.
seems to be whatever's holding it down has just enough hold to stop you guys from getting it off.
I got it. I should have used my fist and not my head.
Does anybody got a crowbar?
Probably.
I have a bow staff.
I feel like your guys' magic bag of holding that is just miraculously full of all the heist equipment a Dowar could ever
Yeah.
want.
We literally just talked about that, and I already forgot that was a thing.
We definitely would have brought a crowbar. We're doing heisty stuff.
Yeah.
Which is very much like a deli bird of me, and I didn't think about that.
It is.
But yeah, you guys just reach into your, I don't know, whoever one of you pulls out the bag, reaches into it, pulls out a crowbar. I mean, hell, pulls out 3 crowbars. Why would you all just go
Yeah.
with one, right?
Yeah. Go to town on it.
So then, yeah, I'm gonna get you all to make strength checks. And you all can roll with advantage since you're all working away at it.
Oh, 2 dirty 20s.
Oh,
Fine.
not 20.
I got a 14, so I'm contributing, sort of.
Yeah. So as you all pick a side and start prying away at it, you hear the nails begin to squeak, and it doesn't seem that Terry's side's moving very much, but through the sheer mighty force of Barry and Larry, the whole thing just like pops open like a tin can that you've only opened like, you know, 3/4 of it, and then you just like rip it open. It just like snaps. The nails on the two back sides just kind of like bend, and the wood, like the lid is like stuck up, standing up, you know, kind of thing, just perfectly not slamming anywhere. You guys made the potentially most silent escape out of this crate that you could have through sheer force and can opening physics.
The wood folds somehow.
Yeah, the wood has a weird bend in it.
All right.
But yeah, you guys all bust up with the force that you're kind of putting behind it, and you look around and you see yourselves. Oh, I didn't give you guys it. I will give you the Owl Bear Rodeo link in general chat. There we go. Okay, we have a monk. A warlock. Oh, our warlock is. I should have. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't have your guys' names yet, and they're all gonna look exactly the same on Albert Rodeo, but whatever. Larry. And then, sorry, what were you playing again for class, Cade?
Druid.
Druid. That's it. Like, you know, the warlock, I get. Absolutely. The monk, like, maybe, you know, but then the druid, it just seems weird that, like, a druid is just like, yeah, I'm all into this major crime.
I'm just around, why not?
I mean, I could see there being tons of use of having, you know, oh, that door we can't get through. Luckily, we got a rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys bust. Did you guys all get the map? Is it showing for everybody?
Yep.
Cool. But yeah, as you guys bust open, you look around. You seem to be in the cargo hold. You have a good idea of the, you know, the floor plan of the ship. You guys were able to study it, get your hands on it due to your informants. You have very well connected Doar. So you knew the rough idea of anything. You're not surprised to see anything. As you look around, you do see, you know, a bunch of cargo, like, you know, stacked up to the roof. Just tons and tons of cargo. And as you look around, you do kind of, you know, have a little bit of moment of remembering that you guys are here to look for 3 specific items. You're not trying to take the whole, you know, 800 pieces of, you know, cargo that's in this place.
There's a gift somewhere who said he'd pay big money for a ship. So.
I like the idea of you guys just like hijacking this whole heist just to be able to give yourself more power in the campaign. But you guys are looking for 1 crate of +1 swords. So I guess you guys know them as really well manufactured swords. You know which ones you're looking for. An ornate chest covered in jewels containing 2 magical scrolls, and a box containing 2 sets of adamantine armor. Now, where you're gonna find that in here, you didn't get that far in consideration. As you look around, you are kind of, you know, not sure how you're gonna find that in this massive collection of cargo.
I'm assuming none of the crates are labeled.
Yeah, as you look
Target
around, there's a
here.
couple that are pretty close to you. Like, you do see that they are labeled, but they're labeled with like indiscriminate like numbers and letters. So it seems like it's a code for finding them, but you don't know the code.
Gotcha.
I mean, if I rolled investigation, could I try to figure out the code?
Yeah, you could.
Cracking some open, and
You can definitely give it a go for sure. Give me
Okay.
an investigation as you look around at all of them and kind of see if there's any patterns between them.
what's a 30-20?
Yeah, as you look around, you do figure out like the concept of the code, and it's that there is no code. Like, these are seemingly random numbers. You're assuming that there's a method behind this. You can't even imagine that anyone working here would be able to make something out of them. So you do get the idea that there is some sort of way that they're able to know what's in these crates, right? They can't just be busting open the crates all the time, figure out what's inside of them as they move them. So there must be some sort of way that they're referencing what's in these
There's
crates.
probably a ledger somewhere that has it all.
Is this Gary's ship? Nothing's labeled right.
Listen, Larry, and not Ruin on the internet, would know that the person in charge of cargo on a ship is known as a stevedore. Stevedore or something like that. So I think maybe we need to find the Stevedore. Get a list of things, you know?
What condition are the crates in? Like, are they pretty, like, all the panels, like, pretty tight, or are there, like, some, like, cracks and, like, slots in between some of them?
It would depend on the cargo, right? Some seem to be like fairly cheaply made boxes. You're assuming people are either not really worried about the cargo or are trying to do these things for as affordable as they can. And then there are some, things that are in nice barrels that are obviously sealed very well so that their contents don't leak. And some very, not that you're maybe a master craftsman in crates, but you see some that are like very well put together. The edges have been planed so that they're nice and tight and the cargo stays fairly well packed. So some things you could look into and see what you can find, but it seems that maybe that's like 30% of the cargo is able to be peeked into.
All right. Yeah, I was thinking I could wild shape into a spider and start climbing in the cracks and see what's in there.
But you definitely could for a good section of the cargo if that's at all your concept.
Yeah.
I do feel like you'd also have to like we're probably not aware of what it looks like, right? We probably have to have some information to tell us that that's what we're here for.
Yeah, like I feel like we know we're looking for like armor and swords and a couple of scrolls.
You guys are managing to keep a fleet of ships that sell a ton of items stocked. So like I would say you have decent appraisal skills. Like I'm sure like you said, like like an ornate chest covered in jewels containing 2 magic scrolls. Like how many of those are gonna be in this cargo, right? So like like once you find it, that one's probably obvious. A crate full of these finely made swords, like I'm sure you guys can tell, like, oh yeah, that's like the make that we're looking for. Adamantine armor I don't think would be hard to identify, but all of these things are fairly high quality items too, so thinking that they would just be packed in a shitty crate that lets the weather touch them, it's unlikely. Maybe there is a shitty producer or something like that, but you guys are smart enough that you would ship it in higher quality material.
Yeah.
What are the odds that some of these crates are alarmed?
It's pretty good odds.
Maybe some of them. Some of these are pretty run down. I think they're just apple crates.
Those aren't gonna be the ones we want. We're not here for apples.
I'm just you asked if any of them are. I'm just giving you some info.
Yeah, no, fair point.
Who's on first?
Where do we get these like Boston accents from? Like,
We are very.
we mentioned mob one time.
That's all it takes.
Well, I can tell you 30% of the crates that they're not in. I've done my third of the work. You guys are gonna do yours now.
We're gonna push those ones off into the corner so that we can only see the other ones.
8 hours later, and just randomly now some crew member comes down and is like, what is going on down here? Why are you guys organizing?
3 very sweaty Doar.
Object permanence. You wouldn't understand it. If I'm not looking at it, it doesn't exist.
All just wearing white tank tops, nothing else.
Yeah.
We somehow
Pull
got
tank tops out of your sack or whatever and start getting to work.
we somehow
One
got
of us-
tin lunch boxes with sandwiches in them. Like
One of us is pouring water over ourselves to cool down.
You guys
Amazing.
are sitting in the rafters for some reason, even though it's completely unrelated to your work.
Can
I'm
I
telling you,
roll?
we need to unionize.
I thought we were in the union.
No. That was
Oh.
what they said when you got married, silly.
civil union. We're
That was a poor choice. Could I roll another investigation maybe to try and find this ledger that supposedly maybe exists?
Well, I feel like that's a bit more of a what should I call it check? Probably just a straight perception, right? You're just kind of like trying to find something out.
Okay.
I don't know how you would investigate the position of the ledger as you look around a wall.
Very carefully.
Yeah, maybe you start finding all these clues. Wow, I found a shred of paper. That must be from the ledger. And you start following all these weird little shreds of paper until you eventually find the ledger
That checks
with a
out.
very angry mouse inside of it.
Well, that is a 10.
Yeah, as you look around and anywhere like unless like someone's like dropped it or like hidden it somewhere, you don't see anything that you would like giving you anything like that. Like it seems like it's not just kept, out and about here.
Well, I did everything I could.
Do we have blueprints? Like, did we get blueprints before coming on the ship?
Yeah, so like that's what you guys like, even just how you have the whole layout. I mean, also it's because I'm lazy, but yeah, you guys know like the basic layout of the ship, where certain stuff is. You're unsure of whether the passenger quarters, what they're being used in at the moment, because you guys know that there is very unlikely any passengers on this trip, right?
It's true. Ways I see it, we got two options. We either sneak into the captain's quarters and see what he's holding, or we check out the passenger quarters, because there ain't no ways they're bringing some freeloaders on this run.
Except for us.
Well, they don't know about us yet. That's the thing.
Yeah, why don't we check out the passenger quarters first, and then that way we work our way up. Yeah, we'll clear one level at a time.
That's how we do life. We work our way up.
Yeah, we're going to start from the bottom. Now we're in the middle.
As opposed to here. One day we'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys hop out of your crate, and are you like just trying to like move to the passenger quarters quick? Are you doing anything particular in like you guys going stealth? Are you guys just big bravado all day?
Would it be quieter if we slid on our bellies like penguins?
I think almost definitely it would be quieter if you slid on your bellies. You got like fur on there, that's gonna muffle the sound. You're not gonna get like the slapping of your like webbed feet on the floor.
Tappies.
That's true. True, that's a good
Perfect.
point.
Definitely.
So
slide.
we're gonna use the aggressive tobogganing.
Controlled tobogganing, maybe.
No, it's aggressive.
No, it's aggressive.
We can slide up to our walking speed in a straight line without using any of our movement.
You just
And then
is
we
it without
just
movement or
smash
having
into
to
them.
move before? I
It
think
says
it's
without
having
using
to move.
any movement.
Well, that is insane. I don't care for a one shot, but that would not be something I would run in a long-term campaign.
Opportunity attacks are made with disadvantage.
I
and they
do
don't
like
kill.
that because you're sliding around on the ground,
Yeah.
moving beside people, and that's a bit of a hard attack in certain situations. I'm into that, but I just think I thought it said without having to move before, like you didn't need to get a run up before your slide. You're just able to drop to the ground and slide. Like I was like, that's cool. That's how I would change it.
This is ridiculous. A creature's space is not considered difficult terrain when you slide through it.
Yeah, you're sliding between
This-
the feet.
When
this
you
is
slide
why
between them, they
homebrew
must make a
isn't always
dexterity saving
published by
throw.
like large-scale production.
Listen, if at this point we know that like they're gonna give us a spell jammer like guidebook that will have extra races or species, and if they don't give me a door that's like this, I'm gonna.
Yep.
I'm not gonna use. I'm gonna use
I
this
like I want the belly slide. I think that some of these things, this person's just like, I want my character to be awesome, so I'm gonna give myself a
Yeah.
lot of cool
You
abilities.
can tell when homebrew's made by a player and when it's made by a DM.
Which
You can
I'm
use
down. I think it's fun for you guys for this session for sure. For all
Alright.
the sessions we play as these guys, I'm cool with it. Granted,
Amazing.
though, is that any crazier than the what are the ape people called again? Haduzi or whatever?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, those people like they could just like fly like infinitely.
Yeah.
So like, what am I to say that that's broken?
I didn't even realize that we were also telepathic. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Super
Because
stealth.
why wouldn't
I
we?
think it's your only way to communicate, isn't it? I don't think you guys can like
Oh, is it?
talk.
No,
So
we have
we're
a
just-
language.
That's how the Doar work in the normal game. Is when they communicate to the people, they need two of them to make a connection, and then they make a connection with whoever they're talking to.
I thought we had a language in this. I didn't put it into the D&D Beyond, but I thought we did.
I mean, it says on the
Yeah, we
Information
speak common
you
in
can
one
speak
other
for you.
language.
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense for an actual character. Like
Yeah.
it's just
So
I
I'm
mean-
just.
Pat only speaks in telepathic most of the time, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
We
want to
speak
throw out there that we've
telepathically
been
in common.
doing ridiculous accents, and apparently that's all in our heads. So we're each imagining what the other person sounds like in our
From
heads.
Space Boston.
you know that checks out. We again, we're Doar, so yeah.
Okay. You guys are gonna slide on your bellies to try and be on the quiet side.
Aggressive one though.
Yeah, aggressively. Are you wanting to do that extra stealthily, or are you just using that as a quieter form of movement?
I feel like extra stealthy. So I was gonna ask you if we could get advantage on our stealth checks because we're so low to the ground.
That's what I would give you guys, since you're using your belly slide to scoot around and be extra quiet, and yeah, you're low, hard to see. I think that's definitely worth a double.
I'm not gonna roll a second time because I got a nat 20.
I got 11.
I got a 12.
Okay, so that's still good enough, and in
Average-
the circumstance of this, I'm just making sure I got everything down. So yeah, so Larry just beautifully, as if like on ice, just begins gliding over the top of like the wooden floor, and it looks so smooth. It is so silent. You barely even hear just like the littlest hooking of his claws as he's using them to push himself forward, and then comes behind is very Terry. Also still fairly quiet, but the sheer difference, like they're like at least 10 decibels higher than Larry was. So they're just like, now they're like,
I feel like
You know,
they're on
coming
their
as they're
bellies, but their
sliding.
feet are still slapping in like a rotary motion.
as they're trying to get momentum. But yeah, as you guys start sliding your way to the passenger quarters, you do notice a dog sleeping just kind of in front of the door that goes up the stairs as you are, rounding that one little corner there.
Still asleep?
Yeah, it seems to be at the moment you guys have not aroused him at all.
Could I potentially roll a persuasion check to persuade him to stay asleep?
And in what way would you persuade him to stay asleep?
Because it's telepathic.
You just shh.
Yes, but what are you doing to make sure he stays asleep is what I'm asking.
Oh, I'm singing him a Doar lullaby.
A Doai lullaby.
But he's not Doar. You need a dog lullaby.
It's a universal language, obviously.
I wild shape into a weirdly sexy lady dog.
We don't need to bring kinks into this, Cade.
I was going Looney Tunes, but the mind wants what the mind wants.
But you said a weirdly sexy dog.
Yeah.
That's your words, not
It's not
mine.
Looney Tunes, yeah.
I've never seen Looney Tunes and been like, that's a weirdly sexy dog.
But did you see Lola Bunny? Cause
Yeah, but that's not even a
exactly-
bunny at that point. That is a
Exactly.
person wearing a bunny suit, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Man, you're not gonna go Wayne's World with it? Like, did you ever get weirdly attracted when Bugs Bunny dressed up as Lady Bunny? Like,
That's a different
me
thing. though.
neither.
Bugs Bunny, hot. So
Yeah,
there's
Bugs
a very
Bunny can
different
get it.
dynamic
yeah.
here. Yeah, so you're roll me a persuasion check as you sing lullabies to this dog.
Okay, that's a 19.
A 19.
What?
Um,
I have +5.
so we
Oh,
are going to say that your lullabies are going to have the same effect as a spell, and that you have to keep concentrating to sing this lullaby. Like if you're trying to keep this dog asleep through force of persuasion, I think that requires concentration. And so anything that happens that would normally cause a concentration check or the like, you are going to have to make a concentration check to make sure that you're still singing the lullaby and keeping him extra asleep. But it seems to be that not only was he like already asleep, but it seems like he settled down even lower, and his breath became even a little more shallow and a little more calm.
Yeah, they call me the dog whisperer.
But you guys are able to slide up past the dog without any issue. Are you wanting to go to the upper or the bottom's passenger quarter first?
Bottom. You gotta start at the bottom, right?
I just don't want to have to pass it again.
I think we would have to pass it either way.
No, because we're already like in front of it, right? So I feel like if we just dodged into the one in front of us, I don't know.
Because
That's
otherwise
up
we'd
to
have to
Jaden.
pass it twice. We'd be going down and then
Yeah.
back up again.
Yeah.
But if we go up,
We
could
go up, then
possibly
it's
have-
only once.
And maybe we can drill a hole through the wall in the second one.
Just draw it up with chalk. And then
I don't know. I don't think you guys got the permits for that personally. Like, I think you got to call zoning in, and it's going to
Yeah,
be months of work, and the labor costs
I'm gonna drill in
alone.
the bag. I'm gonna drill.
Listen, by the time we get the guy down from City Hall, he's gonna be all over our asses.
So yeah, you guys go up and you who's going for the door?
I will.
Okay. So yeah, as Barry glides up to and reaches up for the door, he goes and gives her a quick little open up. And what do you want to do? Are you just blowing her open? Are you peeking around?
I think I'm
Something
peeking
else?
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give me a stealth check, just so you're trying to be as inconspicuous as you can.
Oh, that's a nat 1, baby.
I would like to cartoonishly be right behind him,
Mm-hmm.
trying to also peek.
I would like to ready myself to take down a dog. In my head, he's just like does the cartoon fists on his wings and just like.
What was your roll again, Rick? I didn't hear
Oh,
that.
it is an 8.
An 8. Yeah. So as Barry opens the door. It opens really quietly. There's not an issue there. It swings open and then just instantly jams his head in to look into the room. Like shoulders are even poking out, and he just starts looking around. Very easily visible if someone was like inside the room. And also just after he slams his head out and begins looking, another Doar, being Terry, also jams his head in and starts looking around as conspicuously as Barry caught it. It's so hard to do these names, Barry, Terry, and Larry. But yeah, they're both looking around, and you guys currently you see no beds in the space. It seems to be also replaced with cargo. And you do see, though, a desk in this room. Seems to be that, there's some basic paperwork and some other stuff going on it. And there is a man, a half-orc, but they seem to be passed out on the table after, doing some sort of paperwork or something like that.
Lean back and be very, very quiet. There's someone in there, but he might have the ledger.
Where is he? Just like full volume.
What is it? Rabbit season?
Duck season.
Okay, Duck, keep low to the ground. Come on, Barry.
All right, I got this.
And I'm gonna wild shape into, you know what? Yeah, we'll go with a spider. I'm gonna wild shape into a spider. Just skitter my way in, climb up the side of the desk and see what's on.
Yeah, as a spider, I don't think you need to roll a stealth check.
The loudest
no.
fucking spider.
Yeah, you go to wild shape and you roll so poorly. It's like, oh no, you actually become a giant spider and you
Yeah.
just consume the whole room. No, yeah, you easily make your way over to the spaces. Your tiny little spider self. It takes a little while, as it's quite the distance, but you find yourself up on the desk, and you do see, just actually give me a investigation check. Let's go with that.
Oh, my investigation sucks though. 18. Oh shit.
I mean,
Alright.
just because it
Minus
sucks doesn't
1.
mean you can't get a good roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, you begin looking around. And you see that a lot of it is not useful paperwork in your sense, but it all seems to be related to the cargo. There's various shipping manifests. They're doing all of the import, export papers, stuff like that. But then you do notice, as you kind of get to the space, laying half under the head of the guy asleep is not the ledger.
No.
Because that would be ridiculous. Why would he be sleeping looking over the ledger? There's no use for that. No, he seems to be just drooling on, a plate of food. He seems to have just had a little bit of a supper, got real tired. There's some paperwork around that he's clearly working on. And then climbing over his head, you do see a piece of paper or a book flipped open. And yeah, you see the random codes. You don't, you get the idea that it's very clearly what you're looking for. There's a code beside it, and then, an outline of what's in each according crate or barrel or something like that.
Awesome.
So yeah, easy find.
Okay. How long are the numbers? Like, would it be enough for me to be able to quickly all right, it's this number is this one, or is it long enough to there's no way I'd be able to memorize a serial code?
No, the numbers they're nothing crazy. They're kind of like memorizing a phone number or something like that. There's only there's not 10,000 pieces of cargo or something. There's only a couple hundred various crates and boxes and stuff like that.
So,
Would I be able
Jaden,
to?
can we still use telepathy even whenever he's in wild shape? Could he still talk to us telepathically? Because I know you can't speak normally, but I don't know if telepathy would be different.
So it says as an action, you can establish a telepathic connection with a number of creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number equal to your proficiency bonus. So you guys would be within the distance, I would say, if you guys are still back at the door.
Yeah.
Barry's in the far side. So yeah, you guys, if you're focused on it, I would say that focusing on a telepathic link would probably be something. It's not granting you any ability to understand, but like I feel like now you're already using your telepathic link on the dog
Right.
to sing. So like unless you you could join in and everyone could be a part of yours, but you're gonna be singing in the background continually as they try to communicate, likely messing up people's ability to interact.
You know what? I'm still doing it though because it's funny.
So yeah, you guys have all, been kind of communicating through this a little bit, giving Barry some elevator music as he does his work, as well as, some critiques and stuff probably from Larry being like, oh man, like I don't know about that. Be a little slower. You're gonna make too much noise. What you found? Just kind of like, backseat driving.
I keep telling you, it's all about the tempo.
Never heard of it.
But yeah, you are overlooking the ledger. It's a fairly sizable book of paper or sheets of paper with all of the various codes throughout it, and big small list, big list, small list of all the different items that might be in each crate.
Cool. Would I be able to? Because obviously I wouldn't be able to like turn pages as a spider. But what are the odds that what we're looking for is on the open page?
I'd love the idea of cueing a Rocky montage as you're like trudging through the snow and you're doing some crazy workouts, punching beef, stuff like that. As you get
As a
ready to
spider.
flip one page of paper, you use all your force to flip that one page of paper, and it also doesn't have the information that you're looking for on it. But no, from what you're looking at at the moment, you do see that it does have like each sheet is maybe having anywhere from 5 to 10 items on it. It seems to be quite a few sheets. So after a quick peruse over the 2 pages that you have easy access to, it doesn't seem to be that either one is referencing the material you're looking for.
I was gonna say, just use your butt silk and bring it here.
That's a lot of butt silk.
He
I'm gonna
can't
be
flip
drained for
one
the rest
page.
Of the campaign. Gonna have to get
I
some
love the idea.
Gatorade to smoke or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
but what if he just like makes the silk come all the way to us and then we pull it?
Have you met spiders? Have you how strong do you think the web is?
Yeah, have you ever walked through a spider web? Thank God they're not that strong as to pull a book, because if
Just
I walk through a spider web, I'm getting
clotheslines
clotheslined every damn time.
Could you have wild
that'd be
shaped into
awesome.
a Spider-Man?
And that would be the most overpowered ability in the world as in wild shaping. Like screw all this other stuff. It's like every time I'm gonna become a spider and I'm gonna set up like freaking lines and hopefully find a way to sharpen them so people just walk through and cut their heads off.
It's the beginning of Ghost Ship every single time.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, well, we found out it's not that one.
Yeah, I'll sneaky back.
Begin to produce a very elaborate pulley system out of silk to pull the the thing to you. Yeah, you easily work your way back to the crew.
And then I'll unwild shape because I can't see any other good use for being a spider.
Okay, so the ledger, it's in there. We just gotta get it.
Oh, okay. Why didn't you just bring it when you were in there?
What about your butt silk?
Look, I'm not the sneakiest guy, and my butt silk ain't what it used to be. I'm a little. Hey, I ain't been drinking my milk. All right, so.
You always said drink your milk. God
I
bless
know,
his
I
soul.
know. Oh, rest in peace, Mama. But.
Oh, Mary.
Oh, at least she's been known to now. But.
Yeah, well, that shopping trip on the other side of Balrog. Yeah, it's taken them a while.
She's making antipesto with God now.
I feel like Larry would just be like, "Gah," and he'd just like try to tiptoe in.
Yeah, absolutely. So you begin
Grumbling
to.
the whole time.
Are you tiptoeing in? Or are you belly sliding in?
Oh, I'm belly sliding for sure.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna
absolutely.
do
So
it
you-
good this time.
Well, you get to roll with advantage as you begin to slip and slide your way into the room.
Oh gosh. Okay, oh no, both were bad. 6.
Yeah, you begin to slip your way in, and yeah, you just hear the plat 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 as your feet are like slapping against the floor as you're trying to like move through there, and you do hear the half orc that's laying on the books to begin to like not like get up or anything like that, but starting to move and mumble and seeming to be beginning to awaken at the moment.
Okay, so I'm changing my concentration to the half orc.
And the dog
This
wakes
thing-
up immediately.
It's fine. It's fine. Different room. We're not even there anymore.
I like that we are now using persuasion as just pure telepathy.
I mean, when you only communicate telepathically, that's a 17 persuasion to persuade him to stay asleep.
Hey, sorry, what was that again? I just
17.
zoned out for a second. 17. I feel like that would scare me awake as a lullaby randomly starts to play in my head, especially if I'm like half awake and I'm like, oh no, just 5 more minutes. What is that music?
And he doesn't change. It's the same one he was using for the dog. It's still like, how much is that doggy in the window? Bark, bark. Like, this is the only dog-related song he knows.
Yeah, as the guy like kind of starts to hear that music and kind of starts shaking his head and seems to not be like getting up any more aggressively, but is not seeming that the persuasion is maybe perfect for his current condition.
Guys, I'm out of options. I only know 2 songs.
Feel like at this time I'm just gonna grab the papers and I'm gonna try to double on out of there.
You're just trying to do this as fast as you can without him noticing.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna ask that you roll me a dex check as well as another stealth check.
Okay. So Dex is an 18.
Pretty solid face
And-
down.
Not 1 on my stealth.
I run into bonking with my great club.
Yeah. So yeah, as you quickly reach and you grab the book, but as you're grabbing the book, you end up just like dragging off like a bunch of paperwork and a couple of like some cups and some other plate stuff. And as they clatter on the ground, the guy does start to kind of move and start getting up, being surprised, and then just then another Doar comes flying in and slams him in the back of the head with the club. Roll an attack for me if that's what you want to do.
Oh, that's 100% what I'm doing. Oh, dirty 20. For 7 points of damage.
Yeah, you come up behind him and you just slam him in the back of the head so hard that his head, as it's just getting picked up from the table, slams back down on the table and he like bounces up. And so he's like somehow both more awake but also less like cognitively capable than he was when he was like, just getting up. And just kind of like starts to get his footing under him. And I'm going to ask everyone to roll initiative for me.
18.
17.
Now 1.
Okay, so you guys, the 2 of you, Barry and Terry, are right beside him, and you both are going before. I can't remember which one had the higher. I think it was Kate had the 19, right? Or
Ruin had 18. I had 17.
Ruin had 18. Okay, so then Ruin, you are first to make a maneuver in this moment.
Okay. Oops. Sorry, I just rolled damage. I actually meant to roll the hit. So 14 to hit with my quarterstaff.
Yeah, as you go to try and hit him, it just seems like his armor is not, it's got either some really solid padding underneath of it, you're not sure, but it doesn't seem to be doing any impact to him at that exact moment.
Okay, I'm gonna use my bonus attack to do an unarmed strike against him.
Yeah, go for it.
24.
Yeah, you don't seem to find the weakness with your staff, but then you do go throw in like this sweet little palm, and it just seems like you hit the right part of the armor, and it kind of like buckles in and kind of hits him in the chest.
I calls this one the throat punch, but he's too short, so just slams him in the chest for a 5.
Yeah, as you slam him and that piece collapses in, you see kind of like push his chest, like you get like you're surprised at how much force you're able to put into that hand, and it just like collapses the huge section of his chest plate, and he begins to try and like catch his breath and try and get any breath in, and he cannot get enough breath within that space as he begins to fade and just passes out, slamming his head back on the table.
Nice.
But yeah, as you do that, we would come around. No, we won't. But after that one punch and the big final slam onto the table, this fight is over. But then you guys do hear a beginning of a growl behind you. I guess it would be very close to Terry as he was still back by the door. And then yeah, you all look around and you see the dog has like just gotten up, is getting like in a position. His hair is all standing up off its back. Ears pinned back, and looks to be like beginning to choose to bark. You're just catching it right before the bark. What do you guys want to do?
I would like to use prestidigitation to make like a I was gonna say like a dog sound from down the stairs to maybe draw his attention.
You want to make a barking noise?
Yeah, maybe like a whimper, like a hurt dog. Maybe he's gonna go investigate.
Okay.
Be like, oh, there's another dog.
Well, it's not. The stairs aren't open. There's a door behind the stairs, or behind the dog into those stairs. You know that they're the stairs. You know the floor plan. You know that stairs leads up to the main deck,
Gotcha.
And where the crew quarters and stuff like that
Then
is.
probably back where we came from, just to like draw his attention that way, away from us.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to be doing anything else as they are looking at the dog before we roll that out?
No, I think I'm gonna wait and see how this goes before I do anything else.
Look,
Yeah.
1 for 2, okay?
So you're casting it behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be like you just cast the spell, and so he hears the spell. So it's his reaction to the spell. I guess I will just roll something for that. Okay, yeah, I know it. I'll roll for that. So yeah, you cast prestidigitation, and you want like a whimpering sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a fairly quiet whimpering sound off in the corner back where you guys had come from. And he kind of looks around, he looks at it, and then just refocuses right back on you guys, growling, seemingly like he's just right now just about to bark at this point. You see him like start to like get that breath in and like kind of begin to force his muscles forward into that, extra loud dog mode.
I'm looking at my spells because I don't remember what I have.
Can I cast Fairy Fire to like disorient it? It fills the area with like light. I know dogs are colorblind, but I thought that like flashing lights might be distracting.
What world can I not find Fairy Fire as a spell? I know the spell. Am I spelling it wrong?
Probably. It's Faerie.
Faerie.
Each
Of
object
course.
in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in the area is also outlined in light if they fail a dex save. But I don't really care about like. I guess we would get advantage on it if we try and hit it, but I'm just thinking more like disorienting it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to see how that rolls, but I feel like you could probably. I feel like that's a loose use of that, right? Like,
Okay.
sparkling light in front of this dog after it already ignored like the sound. It clearly seems to be focused on its current job at the moment.
I mean, it's
I
about
would
as
say.
loose as my use of prestidigitation, but maybe the combination.
But not quite as loose as persuasion to sleep.
Definitely not as loose.
It worked.
Yeah. So like, what's your goal? You're trying to just distract him for a second, try and scare him.
Disorient it so that maybe we can kind of orient ourselves in a way. to actually deal with it before it alerts anybody that's upstairs.
Can one of us just grapple it and make it sleep?
Oh, make it
I
take
don't know.
the big sleep.
Can you, Monk?
No, not the big sleep. This is exactly why Jaden threw a dog at us. He knew we wouldn't kill it.
Yeah, I don't, I feel like just with the use of the fairy fire, I mean, yeah, if you're willing to burn a fire or a spell slot just to give yourself more or less Jubilee powers, I'm in. Minus, I guess, the damage because they are fireworks. But yeah, I think you can easily cause, a bit of a light show to go off in front of the dog if you want to go for that kind of thing.
Do I get the vibe that it would distract or like disorient them?
Well, you're not like, there's only, give me a survival check. That's a good thing to do.
Okay.
Or as
15.
animal handling. We'll go with the survival check. That's
It's
fine.
15 either way. It's the same roll for me.
Yeah, well then perfect. So yeah, you know that it's not uncommon for an animal like that, like bright lights, loud noises, stuff like that can easily often, kind of disorient them, get them panicked for a moment or something like that. It might give you that little extra second, give you some opportunity for surprise or something like that.
Okay.
But it's always a potential, like you're not entirely sure how well it'll always go over with an animal because a well-trained animal will have been trained against that kind of stuff, right? Trying to keep them focused.
Yeah,
So yeah, you
I'll give
could
it a go.
definitely run it. And I'll get you to roll your spell like you would normally roll for your casting or whatever. Just roll
it
that
just
as if you were.
automatically casts. It has
Yeah,
to
I
make
know.
a dex save.
It's just for the outcome of how effective it'll be as
Okay.
Oh, he saves. That's good.
Yeah, he
I'll
makes
use
a
the
save.
save then. What's his?
Dex.
It's a dex save, correct?
Dex 13. Yeah.
Okay. That works perfect. That will solve it just as well. So yeah, as you shoot this big couple of like more or less mini fireworks off in front of his face, you do see him kind of rear back, and you do have a moment of where he's just like so focused on these flashing lights. You know that you've got like a couple of seconds of these lights flashing. Like you got like 3 seconds kind of thing.
Cool. So we all get
To make
advantage
it a move.
on it as well if we decide to attack
Mhm.
it, but
I feel like we just dash into the other room.
slide.
I will say that I think you guys are smart enough to know that the point of this dog being here is as much an alarm as it is anything else. Just so you know, so like dodging into the room is an option for sure, but you assume that if it does bark that it will attract attention.
Does anybody have like a silence spell?
I thought you were gonna say a silencer, and I was like, "Hey, we already said we're not killing the dog."
I don't know if we have a choice, guys. Like,
Listen, can we pull our punches to knock the dog out?
Yeah, well, you can always choose to do non-lethal
All right,
damage to
then I would-
anything.
I would do
Well, I
an
like
unarmed
your-
strike
Well,
to
I like
knock
your
this
grapple
dog out.
I like your grapple better. Then we're not like punching a
Mm.
dog.
I feel
I
like
have-
punching a dog or choking a dog out are equally as, aggressive choices, and I don't know why people
wanna
would
do
distinguish the two.
one little karate chop. One little
Yeah,
punch.
throw a
feel
little
like-
swack on the back of his head to try
All
and,
right, I'm doing it.
knock
I'm
him
just
out.
going.
and you get advantage on that from the very.
Not 20.
Don't even need
So, yeah. My D&D Beyond dice are great tonight.
it.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple, he's just a normal mastiff, not anything crazy. So yeah, you go and you come behind him and you use,
For Doar.
yeah, size-wise,
It's a
he's
massive
bigger
dog.
than you. You could ride him into battle if you had chosen, if you could
He's a
persuade him.
steed.
But no, you know enough about these kind of situations. You've dealt with dogs before, and you know the right spot to hit them just in the back of the head, just to give them the right shuffle that it'll, knock him out. You're not coming in and like chopping his head off by any means. And you see him kind of just like topple to the ground, and you see him still like breathing and stuff like that, but he is now currently unconscious.
They always sends the dogs after poor Larry.
Oh, the dogs.
As
Good
he
thing he
waddles
got that
away to
food
the
up
second door.
And if anyone has anything to say about that dog move, these are not good guys. May I remind you?
We're not good guys.
You
Morally
are
gray.
We align
absolutely
ourselves
stealing
Gray
from
guys.
people.
Gray.
Yeah.
You are absolutely criminals. There is absolutely no question about that one.
We steal
But
from
we're-
the rich and give to the otherly
Yeah.
rich. Like,
Yeah. We're like Doa Robin Hood.
Yeah, but if Robin
said
Hood
like.
put it back in his own coffers, you know?
Yeah, I said like.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
Robin Hood was cool, you guys would be like him.
Exactly, voice in the
Listen,
sky.
Hollywood has tried to make at least a dozen cool Robin Hood. They never work out. Okay.
Yeah,
you might have
because
a
he
point.
gives his money to the poor. I love altruism. I believe in it. But is it cool or is it kind?
And I
Listen,
would argue Robin Hood Men in
Andrew-
Tights is very cool.
Yeah, that's the one that they pull the cool out.
Because he can do-
Andrew Ryan would also have lots to say about altruism, so we
Yeah,
know
he
how
would.
that works.
And someone do that monologue from the opening of that game as an audition piece for the play this year. I was very impressed.
I use that
Sounds
monologue as an example when teaching kids how to write monologues.
Nice.
That and the Metal Gear Solid 5 War.
Yeah.
War has changed.
But I thought war never changes.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say-
Fallout told me.
strange because Fallout says war never changes, and then that
It
one
does.
says war has
It's a
changed.
crossover we never knew we needed.
ID tag guns with ID tag soldiers on ID tag car. It's like, yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, let's go in the door.
Yeah, so as you guys reach for the door, you do feel that it's currently locked. Like you jiggle it, it's not moving anywhere. It seems to be, not openable, as a locked thing usually is.
I have cook's utensils. Would I have like a chopstick that I could try to pick it with?
We probably have locksmith, like, thieves' tools in our bag of holding.
Kebab?
Obviously do.
Like,
You guys are well-trained thieves at this point. There ain't no question that you're gonna have thieves' tools. Now, your thieves' tools might compose of a chopstick and some various other picks. That's definitely the case, but that's because that's exactly how Larry likes to pick locks. I would imagine.
it's just
It's
an
actually-
unopened pack of bobby pins from Claire's. Like,
Actually,
And a
it's a
chopstick.
kebab stick, so it's a little thinner.
Mm. So yeah, who's going in to pick this locker? Give it a try.
I feel like our
Mm.
monk
Give it
probably
a
has
try.
the highest dex to give it the sleight
Yeah.
of hand check.
16.
Yeah. As you go, you start, picking away at the lock, and you do find the sweet spot. You just get that. You got that chopstick right in the right angle, and everything's just levering great off of it. And you just hear the click as you twist it, and the door, is more than ready
It's
to be
just like Ma's liquor cabinet back in the day.
open.
That was you. She blamed me for that.
Yeah, that's because I told her to blame you.
Oh, boy.
Just
Hey,
going
we
in.
had good times with that liquor cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
We just forgot to invite you.
That's what I get for being the youngest.
Larry would definitely be hightailing it inside.
Oh yeah, Terry's right.
Oh no. Almost made myself bigger. There we go.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys, whip the door open, run in real quick, and you do see inside, it seems to just be more cargo, but it does seem like there's not stuff stacked too high on each other. It seems like this is where they're trying to keep like some fairly high quality stuff. Some of the more, yeah. Maybe there's a premium storage facility or something that people are paying for, who knows. But yeah, you see a fewer amounts of cargo in this space, and nothing else really of note at that point.
So maybe we stay in here while we check the ledger.
Oh, I thought we were going to stay out there with the dog.
Well, I mean, we can if you want to. Depends how friendly you think that dog is.
It was pretty nice to me.
Cut to the dog, like, before it's been knocked out, imagining just ripping out all of your throats.
Very friendly.
Joke's
All
on
right.
him, I don't got a neck.
He's just
The other
like,
way to look at it is your all neck.
Yeah. It's just neck all the way down.
All right, pull out that ledger. What do we see?
I thought you had
Yeah.
it.
I do have it.
that was a test. You passed.
Congratulations. Next time you could have some of my hooch.
Yes.
So yeah, you can make either an investigation or a perception check
Ooh,
to
I-
see
I'm
what you
pretty good
find
at
in it.
I would go with perception, but I have a +3. Rick, what do you have?
+5.
And you're Terry, right?
Now we
Uh,
do
you-
have to ask: would Larry hand off the ledger to Terry?
Oh, no. He definitely think he was the smarter one, even though that's not true with the +5 that Terry has. And so he would hold it out and say, all right, but you're not putting your filthy mitts on it. He holds it like in front of his face.
Would you hold still? Can't read it.
Listen, I got the shakes. Did you see what I did to that puppy dog?
I did. That's a 13.
Yeah. So as you look over it, it takes you a while. You're flipping back and forth through the pages, but you get the idea. You know where the like the table of contents is. You finally, eventually, after some pretty, aggressive. Can you even read? Like we don't got all day in that kind of back and forth. You do eventually find the page you're looking for, and you do find the item code for both of your the crates and the adamantine armor, and you do find a section where they are talking about the chest, but it doesn't seem to have a code associated with it.
I mean, I think we can spot that one.
Larry would be holding the papers and being like an optometrist and being like, all right, ones, twos, ones, twos, read faster.
Yeah, it's just nothing but like Three Stooges the whole time.
Yeah, you guys are easily are able to identify the crates you're looking for. I'm not going to give you random codes because we don't need them. You make up your own. It's 10XA32E or
It's
something. like that.
8675309.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh.
Sorry, Barry. I know that's a painful memory.
Too soon, Larry. Too soon.
I hope she will.
Yeah, so you are currently, the ledger now has no other major use to you guys. You notice that there is other stuff that would be good to, take, but you know that you're here to get very specific items. It'll sell quick. Any of this other stuff, who knows if you can get it moving through the market and not. So you have your targets.
Except there was one that was unlabeled, right? Like we don't know.
But
number.
Yeah,
That's
the
the one.
chest doesn't have a code associated
But
with
it's
it.
covered in jewels, so. I think
Unless it's hidden behind another one, but it wouldn't have a number on it, I would think. So
Look, I got my jeweler's kit. I know what jewels look like. We got this.
I like the idea that every time like any jewel comes out, he just pulls out his jeweler's kit, looks at it. Yeah, that's a jewel. That's definitely a jewel. That's a
I
real
feel like-
nice one too.
Just pulls out a vape.
I feel like every single time Larry makes a joke about, yeah, you'd know your family jewels too if you held them all the time.
Every time. Every time. Same
Every
joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Barry always laughs.
Larry secretly laughs.
So yeah, every now and again when you guys have your like internal telepathic connection, you do hear this weird chuckle. You're like, what the heck's going on there? That's just him giving you props and you don't realize at the exact moment.
Yeah.
I love that we're just telepathically communicating, so somebody watching from the outside just like sees these three penguins standing around, and then they just all start like laughing out of nowhere.
But like soundlessly laughing,
Yeah,
like just chortling.
Just falls on the ground.
So yeah, you guys are currently in the room. There's a bunch of cargo already currently around you, and you know the codes that you're currently looking for.
Oh yeah. I feel like we start here.
Let's find these crates.
We found the crates. We gotta find the stuff within the crates.
No, we found the numbers. We have found the crates.
The crates are all around us. We don't need to find the crates.
Well, we know the crates are here, but where's the crates? You tell me. You show me that crate.
You know what?
Terry's
It's
just gonna
semantics
walk
at this
off while
point.
while they're arguing, Terry's just gonna walk off and start investigating.
Yeah, throw me a perception check as you try and find the numbers that you're looking
I don't find it.
for.
That's a 5.
Yeah, you're looking around and you're trying to like make out the codes on the thing, but they're just a little too high. They're stacked a little too tall for you as you try to read them. And you're not able to make out half of what's in the room, and the other half it's not lining up with the codes you're looking for currently.
I'm pretty sure all these numbers is upside down.
Can
It's 'cause
I?
you don't know
what
how to
I'd like
read, Terry.
What I'd like to do for just flavor text is like pretend that Larry and Barry are still like arguing, but like roll a perception in the meantime to see if he just like happens to put his hand on it at the same time.
Yes,
Decided.
definitely. Roll me a
Oh,
perception.
that one.
He
He goes up to Barry and he like tweaks him in the nose. It's like, get looking.
Hey, you wise guys, come on.
Yeah. You boa curly.
All right, everyone else is doing a perception check. I'll do one to see
Yeah, I mean, you
what
might
I
as well
find.
give a quick look around too, because your
Somebody-
brothers are not helping
Boom,
out. at this
18.
moment.
I'm
18.
gonna say somebody's got to roll better than us.
Yeah,
Who's the
so
youngest now?
Still you.
Shut up.
you start looking through all the numbers, and you're not seeing what you're looking for in like the first pass, but then you do notice like you can start seeing some of the numbers to like behind some of the crates, or there's a couple stacked up and stuff, and you do just out of the corner of your eye think you start seeing the code. You get a better look on it. Yeah, you found the crate you're looking for. It's currently has one crate on top of it and one crate in front of it.
Guys, I found one of the crates. Get over here. Help me get to it.
Yeah, you heard him.
Larry's already over there. Just no, yeah, okay, you found it, but I pushed you in the right direction when I tweaked your nose.
The right direction was up. The right direction was up, Larry.
Why I tweaked your nose and it went back because back is up.
Harry is very clearly the middle brother, and so he's just super bad.
He just wallows in the fact that Ma didn't love him as much.
Yeah, wasn't the
so
oldest,
yes.
maybe, you know.
So you guys have the 2 crates currently to get out of your way.
All right, so we gotta get these other crates out of the way. You're gonna help me lift or what?
Yeah, I'm already helping. See?
All right,
See,
all
look at
right,
these
all
pipes.
Right, all right. Oh yeah.
As like the weakest one.
So whoever has the highest strength, give me a strength roll, and then give yourself the help action with your brothers giving you a hand. So
I have a +1. I don't know.
I have a -1.
All right. Okay, come on, help action. Okay, that's an 8.
you both are, all three of you, you try and put your backs behind and try and slide it, and you're currently at the moment, just with brute force, you ain't moving this crate. It's a little too heavy.
Harry's
Right.
like, all right, get out of the way, get out of the way. I got this. With my also -1. That's an 18.
Yeah, I love it. You both just throw your backs in it, and Terry doesn't know what he does. He just finds the ultimate place. He just gets it moving at the start and gives you past friction. He's not sure. Just comes up one arm and just slides the crate right across to the side. Like, what was the struggle, man? Like, come on, guys. Like,
We's loosened it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, now we got to get this one off the top.
Yeah, not it.
All right, fine.
I just poke it with my quarterstaff.
trying to like knock it
Yeah,
over
push it
off
off.
to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Give me a roll for that. Give me just I think a strength check as well.
6.
Well, maybe if you had a whole staff, not a quarter staff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you go and poke it, and you just end up like poking through the wood a bit, and it kind of just like jams through, and you're not seeming to be able to get the purchase you're looking for.
Larry would join him in that effort. Yeah, 16.
Yeah. So as you poke and you kind of like are just trying to put your back and you're not getting anywhere. Larry kind of like comes up behind you, gives you. We go full ghost. He puts his hands around the pole with you, helps you shove, and it just starts to slide. And you guys get it just like off, and as it goes, it topples to the ground, and as it hits the ground, you guys all hear just a collective 3 oofs.
That's a little weird, right?
You know, boxes don't normally oofs.
We
Is this a
Wait.
we was the only
this is a-
stowaways, right?
Did we oofs?
I did oofs. Did you oofs?
Because I'm wondering if we's are not the only ones with the same ideas.
I think this might be a mimic.
Well, what does a mimic look like?
That's the point, dummy. It looks like whatever you don't think a mimic looks like.
Okay, so how are you supposed to tell if it's a mimic?
If it opens its mouth and starts trying to eat you, it's probably a mimic.
Well, why don't you put your fingers near it?
I don't got fingers, you know that.
All of them do flippers.
All right. Larry would just very gingerly put out his quarterstaff, expecting to find a mouth somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, as you go and you poke the box, it doesn't seem to do anything. Nothing, shifts or no teeth start flying around. And it's currently quiet at the moment as you're kind of like knocking on it.
See, there's your mimic. It's a box that happens to oofs.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure boxes don't oofs.
Sometimes they got those stones that they leave to send a message. Maybe somebody was trying to mail a message to their lover and it said oof.
Oh yeah, romantic language, oof.
Well,
This is why Jenny loved me and not you.
oh, you did not.
Oh, I knew you had the hots for my girl. I knew you had the
She
hots for her.
loved my oofs. She said they were quite endearing oofs.
I love the idea that song is just about two penguins.
I feel like at this point we need to either ignore this box or open it.
And are we playing that Dewar can speak, or are we only telepathic?
I think we're only telepathic.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can communicate with other people if you use both of your minds to begin a telepathic connection, or at least two minds to create a telepathic connection with another creature.
I'm just gonna take my crowbar to it. Like, not the lid.
Just
where
start
they've
smashing this
But, like,
box.
where he already
So that's when I started whacking.
ripping at it.
So are you trying to actually pry the lid off, or are you just trying to break it?
Like where he accidentally put his quarterstaff through the wood. I'm just gonna start tearing at it, trying to see if I can open it up and get a better look inside.
Yeah, roll me a strength check.
The
then.
mimic
You ever seen a
screams.
butter churner?
That's a 5.
So yeah, you kind of you go and jig your claw and you're trying to reef at it. It doesn't seem to be able to get any bigger or anything like that. But as you pull it out, you do kind of feel it kind of thud against something, and then you kind of wiggle it around again, and you don't feel anything you're not sure what you would have hit it on, and then you kind of pull your crowbar back out.
Okay, there's something's in there.
Did it oofs?
It didn't.
Well,
even more
then
suspicious.
I'm gonna use my crowbar to try to pry it open.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hit me with a strength check.
2.
As you go in and try and pry off the board, you do get it to begin to move, and you're kind of excited. But as soon as you let go of the force, you're maximizing out. It just kind of snaps back into place, as if you had done nothing at all.
It must be one of them premium shipping containers.
How big is the hole?
The hole that got shoved in. It's because you poked it with your club, you said, or
I
a
poked it with my
quarterstaff?
quarterstaff, but then these two guys have been prying at it with their crowbars.
Ineffectively. With a 5.
Yeah.
Is
no,
it big
it's-
enough
it's-
for me
it's
to
about
fit
the
a
size of your
penguin-sized
thing.
head in?
No, it is not. You could fit your beak kind of into it. I
Not your
feel like.
fat head.
Hey, fat head because a big brain.
There, stick your beak in there.
Yeah. I'll walk up and stick my beak in. And just start biting inside.
Yeah, you bite, you stick your beak in, you start biting, and you do kind of hear some voices be like, "Oh, what? No!" And they kind of just they're trying to be quiet, but they're kind of a little surprised as they come flying at them. Yeah, you do hear 3 distinctly different voices, kind of panicking slightly for a second, and then trying to go quiet again. You hear shut up.
Whatever the penguin version of a squawk is. I don't know what sounds penguins make.
Yeah, they don't seem to speak your whats back. They're just what? And they kind of be quiet. They may not know we're here still.
Pop it up. Okay, I know they're there.
And they're no, you don't. You don't know that we're there.
I know you're there. I heard you. Oofs.
You
Okay,
didn't
wait,
hear our
get
oaths.
we gotta open this telepathic communications.
Even if I didn't hear your oofs, I heard you didn't hear my oofs.
Penguins squawk or bray. Not neigh. Not neigh.
Yeah, but bray is the donkey version.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I guess it takes an ass to know.
Oh, sound. We're all
Okay,
really
so we'll break it in, right? Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
I'm just gonna roll to damage it at this point. I'm not even gonna care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
wanna
want to get
damage
these
them.
3 bozos out of there.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
You can
nat
all
20.
throw an attack roll at it for sure.
You know, when I want to gingerly open it, no. But when I want to attack it, nat 20.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get a crit damage on it, so that's bonus, you know?
Yeah,
Who knows how
yeah.
strong this crate is?
I feel like I'm two-handing it, so... 12.
Nice. Yeah, as you go and I'm assuming using your quarterstaff, you come in with a big wide swing on it, and yeah, you knock out like 3 of the boards from it. They just like bust in and kind of like topple off to the side, and as the light kind of shines in, you do see someone kind of shuffle and like move to the other side, trying to stay out of vision. But you get the idea that there's someone kind of looking similar to like a gnome or like a halfling ducked through the space, and then you see like as they kind of like poke their heads out and be like, and they just kind of stare at you, wondering like what's your move before they make their move.
You tell us what we're doing or we're playing whack-a-gnome. I just
And
hold
they
up my
look at
great
you.
club.
They're just waiting for crowbar menacing.
You know
Um,
I met with him. He's the crazy one.
And the 3 gnomes all look out at you, and they do talk in a weird way. Like they each take like one word of the sentence, and so like they're each just like communicating through that in this really terrible,
God, they're
almost.
improvers.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I'm gonna say, what does it look like? We're here to rob.
Well, that's unfortunate because we're here to rob and we got here first.
Like you're gonna rob all this stuff, and
Not
they kind
all
of
of
look
it,
you
just
over.
the valuables.
There's a lot of valuables here.
Tell
Listen,
you what,
you can have anything that we are not here for.
And
So
then he
nothing.
kinda looks you over. He says, "What are you here for?"
All
Tell
of it.
us what you're here for.
what are you here for?
And they all kind of like sit there and like kind of like look at each other, kind of figure it out, and we're here for potions, and we heard that they had some magical books in the back somewhere too.
Books or scrolls?
Books.
You can
Some
have the
about
books.
learning spells. We're not sure. We just know a guy
Right.
wants them.
Sidebar.
Side by.
3 penguins in a huddle.
so,
You have to do this the whole time. Come on, Rick. All right.
we can't let these wise guys take our stuff.
But it's
Oh, they
stuff
just
we
want
weren't even gonna
books.
take. We weren't even gonna
We,
take
got,
it. We
we
can't
want
read.
scrolls.
But what if it's more valuable than our stuff?
Well, that's
That
Gary's
doesn't
fault. then.
matter.
We gotta trust
Yeah,
Gary.
Gary should have sent us here with books.
Yeah.
But then we're gonna have a bad reputation. These guys are gonna tell everybody that they
No,
robbed
no,
from
no,
us.
They gotta tell nobody. Who's gonna listen to a bunch of improvising gnomes?
Now you got a good point. Okay, sidebar.
All right, all right.
If they improv it, do they actually want those things?
Oh, that's
Don't
true.
leave
That's
this.
true. That's true. Never trust
Maybe
improv.
they improv them. I says we just
we
get
can't
rid
trust
of them now.
You want to whack these guys?
I'm not taking it off the table.
Let's do it.
I said we leave it on the table, but for now we try and work with them. They don't even want our stuff. If they end up trying to take our stuff, then we whack a gnome.
All right. Should
All
we? Should each one of us go with one of them? Make sure they don't take what we want.
Deal. Divide it, Carl.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You got yourself a deal. We are looking for stuff.
And then they look at you. What deal?
We're looking for stuff that ain't books, and you looking for stuff that is books. So you stay away from our stuff. You get as many books as you want. We work together for the time being, because 6 heads is better than 3.
And they all
That's
kind of like
maths.
nod in unison and be like, "Yeah, six is better than 3. There's no question about it."
We already did most of the hard work. We took out one guy and the dog. Don't worry, the dog is still alive. We just took him out.
Don't go near the dog.
And
Yeah,
they look
yeah,
at you
sure,
like,
no.
and you see them all like have this evil smile, and be like, "Oh, we would have just offed it right off the bat."
Sidebar. These motherfuckers were gonna kill a dog.
These are bad guys.
This is
whack
not
these
okay.
guys.
We're gonna whack them later.
Maybe you need some bad guys. Maybe you find more dogs. Who knows? You get onto the main deck and it's just all dogs.
Just dogs.
Oh, God.
A dog in a
Dog
captain
shit.
hat comes walking up.
The orc was their pet. He's sleeping like a good boy in his dog dish.
No.
Listen, we're gonna split ourselves up. One of you guys with one of us guys.
And they kind of like look you guys over. They're like, "Let's go make communicating real hard." As they're all taking one word of a sentence, and so you feel that if you split the three up, you might only get 1/3 of any total sentence.
Look, you're not doing a real good job of yes-anding us, okay?
All right, fine. Listen, we're gonna keep an eye on you, and we're gonna do our thing. If you leave this area, we leave this area. All right?
They kind of all give you a nod. I'm not sure why you'd want to be in their pocket that aggressively, but they're down. They're gonna go and start looking for their crates. Noticing the ledger that you guys had used and have already, quickly found their stuff.
Extort them. You want to look at this ledger? You need to pay us.
One book for every page.
You can't read.
They don't know that.
You was the one saying we didn't want to let down Gary.
I know, but I don't want to,
No, I mean Terry.
right,
Terry
right.
didn't want. We want the books, but like not the books that they want, because that's bad business partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
they
you just want them to give you unrelated books?
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
We're looking for, hooked on phonics. We're trying to learn how to read.
We just want our GEDs. We're not asking for much.
Yeah. This isn't the end goal for us, all right?
Yeah, like we said, we started from the bottom. Now we're in the middle, and we're eventually gonna get to here.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that success in life starts with a good education.
Yeah, but the gnomes don't give you guys any major argument. So yeah, they'll help you find some extra books to cover the fees of looking at the ledger.
Good. Mama Mary thanks you. Or she would. R.I.P.
And yeah, so the three of them
It's in Providence, Rhode Island.
go off.
Oh,
R.I.P.R.I.
New shirt coming soon.
Oh man, the three gnomes go off, and you see they very quickly find the 3 or 4 crates that they're looking for and push them off into a section, an accessible area in the middle. And they kind of come up and, kind of just look at you guys, wondering why you haven't found your stuff yet.
because we was watching you guys.
We've been busy. There was a dog.
We found some of our stuff. It's right there. We're looking for other stuff.
And they nod, and they're like, oh, well, what are you looking for?
What's about it?
Yeah. What's it to you?
I said, well, I mean, we'll just take a break then. We were just going to help you find it, but...
Look for a little of this, a little of that, Sidebar.
I don't...
What is these guys' deals?
These guys are weird, man.
They're improv. Of course we are.
It's like they expect us to start everything, and then
Oh. It's like they ain't even trying to be the main characters, Like,
all right. Larry is going to try to find the next crate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terry's
Give
gonna.
me... Yeah, if you guys are start looking at it, give me a perception check with advantage as you're all kind of helping each other try and dig through the stuff.
18.
18. Yeah, so you've already found the box that has the 2 sets of adamantine armor. That was the one that Barry had found. And as you're kind of looking around, luckily enough, your crate is kind of sitting there right at the front of a stack. You know, nothing set up on top of it or anything like that. It's just sitting there magically, and it's your crate of swords that you're looking for. At least according to the code, it seems to be the correct crate.
Would I be able to just double check it and see if it is what it appears, like what it's supposed to be? I'm just worried they might have done some clever swapping or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you just easily, like, you grab the crowbar, you kind of pry it open just a little bit, you look in, you grab a little pinch of blade, you rub it in your nose, and be like, yeah, that's the stuff.
Oh, yeah. Mom always said it made my mouth go tingly.
Yeah, that seems to be some high quality steel inside of that crate.
They call this type of steel snow.
I think you're eating the lead chips again.
Well, it was a bleak winter. What can I say?
Penguins gotta eat.
All right. So we don't find the jewel-covered chest.
No, seemingly that the crate is not in the area at the moment.
Okay.
So it must be upstairs somewhere. Wonder if the captain's keeping it in his quarters.
Did we check the crates in the first room? I thought there was crates in there too.
Not really.
Yeah, well, in the first room, yeah, there is some crates stacked in there, but you guys didn't see any chest by any means in there. You had already had, you look around, you would have seen it as you had poked your in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just be worried there'd be like a crate inside of a crate, or the chest inside of a crate,
Then
to
it would have been
mask
on the ledger.
appearances. That's true. Yep.
I think they calls that crateception.
Russian nesting crates.
Yeah, there's a jewel encrusted crate with the jewel encrusted chest inside of it.
Couldn't be this one.
Only the finest of shipping for this product.
Alright,
Yeah.
do I go check out upstairs?
Sure.
Hey, gnomes, let's go.
And they kind of look at you, with like a, there's like it's slightly bigger, and that's the stack of gnomes. Yeah, they operate only in a stack of 3 everywhere they go.
3 gnomes in a trench coat.
They're all sitting on their crates, just kind of, they each have pulled out like a little piece of jerky. They're just kind of nomming away. They're like, it's coffee break. We'll stay here. We'll keep an eye on the stuff. You guys go do your work.
No.
That wasn't part of our deal.
He said,
Yeah,
we didn't make a deal. What? You keep talking about a deal.
Everything's a deal.
Don't you know it's called The Art of the Deal by Gary's Emporium?
Haven't read it. Just know the title.
Because
You
he
can't
has a
read-
great head of hair.
He's got like 3 hair.
He's an emperor penguin, so it's got the swoop.
Yeah. Yeah. Currently, they seem to just be sitting on their crate, and they'd be like, you guys go find what you're looking for. We got our stuff. We're just gonna stay here with it.
Is there
No,
any clear way
guys-
off the ship from this level? Like, is there like a
no.
hole they could climb out of or something?
No, there's not like any side loading by any means. There is, there's a seemingly you see like most ships have like big gate that flips open that they can load cargo into the bottom. But from what you know about the ship, it doesn't have a crane on top of itself, kind of thing. So you assume that you're gonna have to move your crates and stuff up the stairs and off, hop off the main deck is your main route of escape.
But also, these guys can't take our stuff and bail without us seeing them if we go upstairs and they stay down here.
Yeah, no, it would take a certain amount of time for sure to do that kind of thing.
I guess it's good to leave them down here.
As long as they don't got to drill.
What are they gonna drill out into space?
Obviously.
You're dreaming again. Let's go.
As you guys walk away, you start to hear power tools going off.
Son of a mother!
Nice. So you guys walk up to the door of the stairs, and it opens up, with no issue, and you begin to walk up the stairs. But as you are walking, you do start to hear quite the racket at a certain point. It's nothing like crazy, not like fist fighting or anything like that. As you guys go, it's usual people walking around on the deck doing a little bit of whatever kind of work. Maybe someone's running a mop. You're not entirely sure. You do see the light at the top of the staircase kind of bleeding down into the space that you're in.
Alright, so we got some people up there. Well, how are we gonna deal with this?
I mean, Leo, use the sneakiest, so maybe you should go first.
I could. I'm gonna have to do some sneaky sliding.
We're not thinking we're gonna whack all of them, are we?
Well, no,
The
we gotta
gnomes?
fly past them.
We're not. We're whacking the gnomes.
Oh, we might
Terry.
be whacking the gnomes.
Terry, you're always talking about whacking. Just sometimes you need to take a break, all right? You gotta wear yourself out from all that whacking.
I've got ointment. It's fine.
I feel like we should do like just a check first, like
Yeah.
actually pop ourselves up and try to look around before we just go stealth and past into the unknown.
Yeah, that's definitely an option for sure. So whoever's gonna go up for that would need to make a stealth check to kind of sneak up the stairs, and then a perception check to see what's there looking around as they kind of poke their head up.
I can. Ooh.
Yeah, I think.
I only-
Terry.
Yeah, it's all use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're up.
Terry or Larry?
You.
Oh. Well, geez, I only got an 8 on that stealth check.
Did I say you? I meant Larry.
I think we meant Terry for sure.
Yeah, you begin to kind of walk your way up the stairs. Sliding upstairs might be a bit of a physics problem.
Clips his beak every time.
Yeah, you just clacking away. You're kind of almost doing like a little beat as you're stepping up, doing a little dance, kind of happy feeting your way up the stairs for whatever reason. No one's really sure why you're putting on this kind of show right now as you try to sneak up there. But you do manage to. It seems that everyone's kind of busy and it's loud enough that they kind of cover any noise that you're making. But you will make your perception check at disadvantage because you're trying to, since you're being kind of loud, you're just trying to be quick, poke your head up and kind of get back down.
That is a 10.
Terry's gonna assist and got a 16 on his stealth check.
Yeah, you could come up beside him at this point, but yeah, there's no assisting him at this current point as he's already up there looking around.
Yeah, if I failed it, you would have failed it too. Because we're stealthing together.
But yeah, you also make it up beside him, and then you would also roll a perception check to see whatever you could find.
Even worse.
That was worth a try. Wasted the 16 too soon. But yeah, you both poke your heads up, and jeez, I keep doing this. Terry pops his head up and then drops real quick. It's like, I didn't get nothing. I think I saw one guy. He seemed to be mopping, I don't know, the mast or something. I didn't get a good look. But then, Terry also, or not Terry, that was Terry. Larry pops up, gets a little bit more of a view. Can't make out anything super specific, but does see that there's anywhere from, if you had to guess, 8 to 12 various people as they were just kind of all moving by really fast, all seeming to just kind of be doing their own various work. You see a couple of people kind of acting as guards, kind of lazing about more or less because they don't have any current work at the moment, and then some people tying ropes, cleaning up the deck, kind of that kind of stuff. Just seems like general work, but there seems to be quite a few people up on the deck at the moment.
Cool. A lot of people to get past.
So maybe we look somewhere else.
There was no exits on the bottom floor there, hey?
Well, there was the stairs up as any main ways of getting up. There wasn't any stairs in the other rooms. But I will get you all to make me give me a straight intelligence check.
Oh, you sure?
Yep.
Oh,
Hey,
18.
nat 20 for 19. But nat 20.
So you all kind of think back to the space, and Terry just kind of thinks about the basement, thinking about the gnomes, all the fun he's had on this journey so far. Watch it, beating a guy's chest in, finding these random dudes in a crate. It's just been a wacky adventure so far. But the other two do kind of think back, and they were, as they had perused the first room when they were looking around, they did remember seeing kind of some strange structure in the roof of some type, or like some strange thing built into the roof. They weren't sure exactly what it was. It wasn't really important at the moment as you were kind of looking around and focused on the ledger, but you do think there was something strange in that one corner.
in the room.
Yeah, in the first passenger room where the orc has had his head caved in, or his chest caved in.
How high was the ceiling?
There was crates stacked all the way up to the top of it, but it would have been the same height as any of the other ceiling, and it's about 8 feet, 9 feet.
Oh, okay.
And it was Barry who remembered that?
Both. It would have been Barry and Larry, or no, Barry and Terry that would have recognized that. They're not sure what it was. There was just some sort of something there.
I mean, it's got to be at least like 2, maybe 3 Dowa high. We could probably get it.
Yeah, I feel like that's our only option there, so.
All right, well, maybe we should. What do you think about the gnomes? Should we send them through first? I'm just thinking disposables.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I could Misty Steps up there, but like, it feels like a waste of a spell slot.
Yeah, well, I just whack things with my fins, so whatever you talk about.
I can only cast 2 spells per day.
All right.
Larry would head back down.
And say,
Mhm.
hey, gnomes,
They would all look at you and be like, "What? What do you need?"
we found another way out, we think. Maybe your things are up there.
And they're kind of thinking, they're like, I mean, we already found all of our stuff. It was all just down here in the main space.
But maybe there's better things. You want books, right?
And they kind of said, "Well, we wanted these books, but do you know where you're going?"
Yeah, well, roughly. It's gonna go up into the crew quarters, but from there we can make it to the captain's quarters. And you know what they keep in the captain's quarters?
I did say that the wrong way.
Captain.
I'd mixed where I hadn't paid enough attention to the map. We'll say that it was in the bottom space where you had found the guys. I see that would just because I wanted you guys to just be able to go up into the
Go into
captain's
the captain's.
quarters, not into the
We're
crew
going
quarters.
directly into the captain's quarters. Sometimes I struggle to read a map.
And they kind of sit there and think, I mean, you never know what's in the captain's quarters, but also the captain might be in the captain's quarters.
So it's one guy. There's 6 of us, and my brother here is real good at whacking it. I mean, whacking. Bam.
And they
Yeah,
look, they're
bam.
like, oh, we ain't too bad either. And they like one of them pulls out like a shiv. One pulls out like just a straight up like crowbar that seems to be his weapon of choice. And then one out of you're not sure where pulls this massive spear out and is just like, let's do this.
And they've all of a sudden got Boston accent. Like, there's just one with us now.
Yep. They've accepted it.
Where did you get that spear?
He just looks- he's just, don't you worry about that.
Nature's
I'm
pocket.
worried.
Let's
I'm
go.
worried.
Nature's pocket. You ain't your own. You guys got your a bag of holding. I got my own thing of holding. Let me tell you. Oh my
yeah.
god, though. Think about smuggling with if you could make a miniaturized bag of holding that you could, keister, and then you could just store infinite number of stuff inside of that. Like it would be so easy to smuggle.
Well, it's the same concept as like the drug mule, but instead of balloons, you just swallow a whole bag.
Bag of holding. It's perfect. As long as it's a smaller size, we're good to go.
Yeah.
No more lollipop shivs. I got a whole spear.
All right, let's go.
But yeah, you guys, they kind of follow behind you. They're all looking pretty rough and gruff and ready to rumble at this point. And yeah, you guys open up the door and you see above you. Yeah, there's like a kind of a thing built into the roof, but it isn't like a hatch or something like that. What you see seemingly is a hole. You don't see any light coming through, but it clearly goes up somewhere. And you see that down on the back there when you get to where it is, you see another hole right underneath of it, leading outside of the ship. About just about the size of a Dowar or a gnome.
It's like some kind of portable holes.
No, these are literally just holes in the floor. Like this one is just like a hole to the outside, and the other one, like it seems to go up and like bend around or something. You're not entirely sure what it's
Harry
for.
doesn't understand that though.
Mhm.
He's magic.
Any little hole is inherently a portable hole.
They could be portable.
If the ship moves, it is porterizing.
It's porterizing. Yeah, if you guys you can easily enough shove some boxes up to the space where you can be able to, work your way through the hole up into the upper space.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. The three of you, or with the six of you, I'm sure you guys are more than able to move a couple of crates in the right position and get them ready to go. And yeah, who's climbing up first?
There.
I mean, yeah, I can go for sure.
So yeah, you go and you're just like just a foot underneath the start of the hole. Like you guys kind of have to scrunch your way and like weave your way in so you can stand on the crate and actually start poking your head up into it. And as you start to poke your head up into it, you do see like a board over top of it. But when you kind of go and push on it, it seems to slide up or lift up. And as you lift up and kind of look through the space through the crack that you kind of made, you just see the captain's quarters. You're off in the back corner of it. And you see, like, as you're kind of looking around, a weird kind of, like, shape structure built around you. Like a seat shape. It's like someone's sitting down all over this hole.
Oh, okay. Can I do a stealth check to see if I can, like, sneak out from under it?
Yeah, so you're, like, wanting to climb out into the main space.
Yeah, but, like, be, like, real squishy flat like a penguin.
Yeah, you're just trying to slide your way through the hole and, like, sausage down onto the floor.
Yeah, obviously to the back side of it too, right? So I can pop up and be like, 11.
So yeah, as you start kind of like lifting it up, you're trying to look, and as you do, or as you begin to like stand up through the space, you look and you do see a goblin sitting away that has a gigantic captain hat on and is doing some paperwork.
Okay.
And you're kind of like stuck in the position as you're like not sure whether you want to keep moving with your current movement or not.
I feel like I would take the moment to duck back down and like tell everybody what I see so that we can like take a proper, I don't want to push it. So that's what I would do. I'd like pop back down and be like, all right, we got one big problem.
What's that?
It's a really large hat with a goblin underneath it.
Oh,
That's terrifying.
how big's the hat?
It's much larger than it needs to be. It's kind of gauche.
You think he's compensated?
Oh, I would assume so, but I don't want to judge. Some men just like big hats, just like some men
And they
really
can't
like
lie.
those little.
They can't lie.
Yeah, well, yeah. Just like some men like those little dangly things that you put on the back of your vehicles. Doesn't mean you're compensated. Just means that you like dangly bits.
I always thought them people was compensating for something.
Well,
You mean the Spelljammer nuts?
I think I would look to. I'm gonna look to the gnomes and be like, "You's got any experience with goblins? Because they're a little bit smaller than us, right?
Goblins or the gnomes?
The gnomes.
Yeah, the gnomes are probably. I can't remember what their overall. I feel like they'd be a little bit shorter than Dowars. I think they're the shortest of the group of
I'm just-
species.
Just thinking maybe use threes, get up there and put the old hacha on him, knock him out.
And they kind of all look at you and say, I feel like, all six of us swarm them real fast. That's probably a better choice.
They got a point. They got a point. 6 versus 1.
We could brute strength the chair and knock him over.
Good.
Give him the old ejectocito, biatch.
You've been watching too much TV again.
Just lots of fast jammers out there, you know? The real lesson is that we are family and we do this together.
Too fast, too jamming.
Episode title right there.
Who is? I think Cade. I think Barry has the best strength.
Okay, so here's a thought. Here's my idea. We just trying to like knock him off, take him by surprise. What if I go underneath the chair and then I wild shape? And it's something real big.
Something real big, huh?
Yeah.
Do it.
Bad. It's not bad.
All right. Here's
Yep,
here.
I says do it.
It's my idea. So I'm gonna climb up and under the chair, and I am going to wild shape into a walrus.
Okay, so as you are,
I have the stat
climbing
block
through,
and
I'm
everything.
yeah, absolutely. I would like you to make a stealth check as you're trying to get underneath the chair, though. Or you're
16.
just like going as fast as you can to get under it.
I think I'm
you
stealthing
can
to
pick
like
them in
get
different
set up and then wild shape. But I got
Yeah.
a 16 on my
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. So they seem to be preoccupied in whatever their paperwork is, and you get kind of sneaking up behind them, and yeah, you just get like right underneath, you tuck into a ball, and then you just wild shape real hard, and then just blow up in an instant into this walrus like an airbag going off and launching the goblin into the air. Not a great dexterity save.
And then I feel like we rush it.
Yeah, and they just explodes. They slam up into the roof, slam back down on the ground, and currently they don't seem to be moving. You get, if you look a little bit closer, they don't seem to be dead. They are breathing slowly, but they seemingly are unconscious at the moment. You know a thing or two about knocking people out, so.
I don't know how to do a Boston accent while also being a walrus.
Just do us a favor. Just get 2 pencils and then do the accent like that.
And
I think he said he got some. Let's rush it. Let's go.
The
yeah,
best
you
part,
all.
we still speak telepathically, so
Yeah, the three of you gun up into the space, and the gnomes kind of just like, poke their heads up out through the toilet, and like are looking around watching you guys as they see the walrus just sitting there in the middle of the space, a goblin unconscious beside it, and the two of you just kind of like scrambling towards the goblin.
I would loot him. Find all the keys and things that I can find.
Yeah, you begin to, start pulling away at, like all of his pockets and stuff like that, and you find a note in one. It seems to be on like some fairly, nice paper, and outside that, you find a rig of keys, seemingly to anything in the ship, as far as you could tell. And then, you find, some gold, some, a sword, the basic equipment kind of stuff like that on them as well.
How much gold?
For this game that you're not going to benefit from having large sums of money in the moment, there is 500 gold pieces.
Amazing.
I'm gonna take the hat.
Can I
No.
e-transfer
Oh,
to
I
a
already took
dear
it.
friend of mine?
Oh, I'll split it, but we'll split it later.
Yeah, so you guys dig through the pockets as Terry grabs the hat off and just like sets it on his head and doesn't say anything about it, just kind of like stands there.
Very casual.
Mm-hmm.
It's still too big. But you look very regal. I will say that.
I knows it.
Is there any chests around?
Yeah, give me a quick perception check. It's quite the messy space. It seems that this captain runs an unfocused ship. A 5.
I'm still
as you're
counting the coins.
I also got a 5.
as you're looking around, you you kind of get distracted for a moment, and then you're like, oh, and then you kind of like look back over space, and you see that it wasn't really hidden by any means like that. It was just kind of out on the floor. There's some papers over it and stuff like that, but you're able to see the kind of shining of some gems. You walk over and knock it off the papers and stuff, and yeah, you see what you assume is the chest you're looking for. It is an ornate chest covered in jewels of all different types, emeralds, just gems. As Terry would say, that it is, these gems are gems, emeralds, rubies, sapphires, stuff like that.
Take it and go.
Terry's got his jeweler's kit out.
Yeah, look it over. Them's gems, definitely gems. But yeah, you grab the crate, or not crate, the chest. It's fairly small, right? From what you understand, there's only supposed to be 2 magic scrolls inside of it. So
we've got the swords, we've got the armor, we've got the scrolls. Is that everything?
Yeah, we just gotta get
that's
at
that
it.
is all of it.
All right. Well, it's time to get the heck out of... Guys, did we figure a way out of here?
That's how he's drilling out.
Do we have a ship?
I just...
Once we get off the ship, where are we going?
Yeah. What is our plan to get out of it? Like, do we have a ship or
Cue
something?
the flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you guys are more than prepared for something like that. You know that after, like, you're gonna hop off, you're gonna, use your stone ascending you got in your back pocket to call in your location, and you do have a pickup ship waiting to grab you.
Carry.
Oh yeah, I forgot about my stone.
Is the jamming helm in here?
Yeah, you see buried under a bunch of paperwork and stuff like that, the jamming helm of the ship.
I am going to try to dismantle it.
So there's not like the way that jamming helms work is I don't think that you could like it's not like pull out like a piece and it doesn't work anymore, right? It's not pulling a spark plug out of an engine. You'd have to like destroy the whole thing,
Yes.
which you can definitely do, but you need to bring some force behind it because it does seem to be made out of like various metals and stuff like that.
That
Wait,
is
but
precisely
Larry-
what I meant.
But Larry, why don't we just take some?
Because what do you think's gonna happen? A goblin wakes up, he realizes you took his hat, he says, boy, wish I had my hat back, and then he looks around and says, the only other ship flying away, and oh, hey, it's us guys. Or maybe some gnomes, I don't know.
What if we take the helm? They can't follow us.
That's, you want to take the helm, you don't want to destroy it?
We could sell the
No.
helm.
Exactly.
Let's take the helm.
How would you guys like to take the helm?
Load it on the back of the
3
walrus.
3 doars. Oh yeah, you have wall.
I'm still a
Yeah.
walrus. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the walrus could shuffle it around for sure. You are in a room.
Drop it
What's
down
the
the
game plan?
Bust out
Yeah,
a wall.
the
Or just-
hole was big. The hole was a shitter. It was big enough for a douar to slide. It was what I can't remember what they call in a ship. There's a specific term for the toilet, but whatever.
I mean, I would like to. I would very much like to revisit the drill.
Is there a window in this room?
It's gotta be how to air it out.
Yeah, there is windows looking out through the back of the ship where you can see out into the astral sea and stuff like that.
I think we got a natural exit.
Yeah, so you know how you're getting out of here. You have your chest, which would fit through the hole, but everything else you guys have is a little bit too large to be fitting through a douar-sized hole. Like these aren't massive crates. They're stuff that you guys could easily move in, teams of 2 or whatever like that fairly quickly. But you need, like a 4 foot by 4 foot kind of space.
We have
to
a
do
we have a
something in.
bundle of holding. Right? Can we put it in the bundle of holding?
You have a bag of holding.
Or yeah, bag of
Um,
holding. Bundle of holding is a company thing.
You could probably put all of your items in. I don't think you could just put the crates in. I feel like that. I can't really remember how the bag of holding works for getting items into it. I know you can kind of. Seems like people pull freaking armor out of it, so it feels like it's
Yeah.
got to have some real thing. But I don't know about putting a crate inside of it. So roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to fit
and
the thing
4
in at 2
feet depth.
But we could take the items out and put them in,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it seems like most things would be able to be done in that way.
All right. Just start shoveling in.
So yeah, you guys all go back down to your space. And the gnomes kind of sit there and they're kind of trying to figure out what they're gonna do, and they kind of see as you guys start putting your items in your bag, and the one kind of comes up. You don't know where he got the hat. They didn't have hats, but now he comes up, hat in hand. He's like, "Oh, I really like what you guys are doing there. We're not sure how we're gonna get this out of here." And you kind of hear as like the other brothers are in the back distance, kind of thing, as filling in the voice. So it's like this weird like volume difference between each third word or second and third word. They're like, like we would love if we could maybe store our stuff in your bag there for the time being.
Yeah, you guys can store it in here.
No.
But we don't have to give it back.
No. There's something wrong about this.
And he kind of looks over there. What do you mean something wrong? Like we need to get our stuff out of here.
Can I do a perception check to see if there's like an ulterior motive that?
That'd be like insight.
I believe yes, that would be an insight check.
Insight. Okay. Oh frick, 6.
I
don't trust yous, but I don't knows why.
Yeah, like obviously you can feel your own way through this, but you're not seeing anything like inherently in this moment. He's not like acting strange or like blinking really aggressively or panicking or sweating. It just seems like he currently, whether you trust it or not, is coming hat in hand asking for some assistance with a weirdly found hat that you're not sure where he got it.
What kind of hat is it?
Oh, I feel like it's I think it's like the kind of hat that like an old news like delivery boy would wear on the corner kind of hat, and so it's like all bunched up, but there still is a brim on it.
Yep, this is a hat of deception, gentlemen.
So where would our ship be? Like, would we be able to see it out the window?
No, like you guys would call it in, and like you just kind of sit there floating for a while, and they would be by in like a reasonable time. They're at a distance of which you would be outside of sight, because they got to stay outside of the range of the spelljammer so it doesn't slow down.
Well, there goes my plan.
I mean, you could call your ship up to you as always an option, but you have the communication style. But
yeah. No, I'm gonna.
it's
I'm
just
gonna fly
out
away.
at a distance.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pull out the sending stone and call our Uber.
Yeah. So you're calling as like you guys are just starting to pack up, or you're gonna wait to call until everything has been stowed?
I mean, I think probably while we're packing up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so as you guys, you've been throwing in your items, you've gotten most of the swords in, you got one of the pair of armor. And you guys do hear as footsteps start to make their way down the steps of the stairs from the main deck. Is there anything you'd like to do as they are coming down?
I'm reading my spells.
What about, do you have to see where you're casting your fairy fire?
Yeah, I would assume so.
I was just thinking, like, if you could cast it up top.
So, prestidigitation says that I can kill up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour. Could I make ice on one of the stairs to make this person slip and fall?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. You put a thin layer of ice on a step, trying for them to slip on it.
Sweet. Once again, Three Stooges.
Yeah, so as you build a layer of ice on like just what kind of space are you hoping I guess a step is, because you don't know where the step is directly. You do hear kind of like a foot kind of like swipe off of the stair, and then you hear thump 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 as they then slam against the door, and then you hear like what the hell, who put that ice there? They're getting all mad and they're getting up, and you hear them like grab for the handle of the door.
What are you guys doing?
I got
Can I create
got nothing.
bonfire on one side of the door? So when they open it,
Start a
there's fire?
bonfire? Is that what you
Yeah.
said? Yeah, I mean, you definitely can. You can light the floor on fire in front of it if you want to.
Yeah. That feels chaotic enough to be on in character.
That tracks. Yeah. So are you using a spell, or are you just what do you
Create
using to,
bonfire,
like-
yeah.
Oh yeah, create bonfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, does it say anything about like size and shape? Like a bonfire is a pretty substantial thing, I would say, right?
A 5-foot cube.
5-foot cube. Yeah, so the whole space is just like engulfed in flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as the guy goes to grab the handle, like you hear him like, oh, what the hell? As he kind of like burns his hand and pulls back and then like slams the door open. And as soon as he slams it open, the door starts catching on fire. And, you know, the door or the fire just starts to begin, you know, spreading across the ship. And he starts panicking. And you hear him scream fire. And as he runs up the stairs and everyone's panicking, trying to figure out whatever they can do. And you do seem they're trying to at least put together some sort of plan at the moment to deal with this massive fire that is burning in the middle of the ship.
double time.
Problem solved.
Potentially. So yeah, so as you guys, you're gonna start going back and finishing up or trying to finish up your packing at this point.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get you all to roll me a dex, please.
Dex.
Roll.
Yeah, dex.
30 20.
30, 20. Sorry, what was that? 16. And sorry, what was that, Rick?
15.
15. Yeah, you guys begin, you know, just trying to jam whatever you can as items into the bag. And the fire is starting to expand quite a bit. There still is enough of a space for you to work around and get back to your current planned route out. But as you just find it, put your last item, and you see like the gnomes like really scrambling, trying to like get their stuff out. And the one comes back and is like, so like, can we get our stuff out of here? Like, and you see him kind of just like squirrely-eyed, trying to figure out how he's gonna get his stuff in your bag in a reasonable amount of time before this fire engulfs the whole ship.
Yeah, all right. We can give him a hand.
Barry, I better not regret this because of you.
Have you ever regretted anything I just said to do?
Many things. We don't have time for the family therapy session.
All right, all right.
Yeah, so their items are a little bit smaller. They're easier, you know, you could pick up a crate, dump it into your bag, stuff like that. But I am going to need another dex check from you guys as the fire keeps expanding.
Dirty 20.
12.
Not one.
That one. So yeah, you guys, you hear the people up top starting to put together some sort of solution. You hear some buckets of water being splashed down, and it does seem to be like dulling the fire in its space, but it doesn't seem to be, you know, enough, especially as the fire is expanded in the base. So they can only really hit the fire that's through the door, and there's, you know, the fire has grown much larger than that. So it seems to be at least a futile endeavor with what they're trying to do to fight the fire. And as you guys are trying to staff or fill up all your bags, you guys all look over and you see that there is, you know, in only like a couple of more, not even minutes, you know, like a minute maximum, that little narrow path that you could use to get into the backspace is closing as the fire is both approaching you and that door. And you've maybe only loaded about like half of the stuff that they are currently trying to load, and you see them, they're committed, they keep trying to load stuff into the bag. What do you guys want to do?
Can I use control flames to kind of push the fire back a little bit to give us some extra time?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Cool.
Is there like a range or anything to control?
60
What?
feet. And
60
within a
feet,
5 foot
dang.
cube.
5-foot cube. Yeah, you're able to kind of like keep the fire back in the kind of thin area. It still seems to be spreading everywhere else. It's starting to come around onto like the cargo on the other side and wrap its way around the ship, but you do have seemingly a little bit more of a moment to try and collect the last of their items. I'm going to need another dex check from everybody.
12.
19.
That one.
Oh,
Fuck's sake.
So yeah, you guys are just starting to get to about like, the 2/3 of the way of their items filled, and you can feel the heat building up around you. I'm gonna need you all to make a Constitution check, as you're kind of like breathing in smoke and stuff now at this point.
sorry, is this a saving throw or just a check?
I think it's saving throw at this point.
14.
19.
I have advantage on those. 14.
Not bad. Yeah, so the heat is kind of bearing down on you. You guys all do take 5 damage just from like breathing in the smoke and getting kind of hot. And you know, maybe even losing a feather or two. And you guys can either press to go once more and try and fill up their gear, or you know, what do you want to do in this moment? The fire is still seeming to be held back on the side that Barry was controlling, and there still is a little bit of a path there, but that other fire is going to be on you very quickly at this point.
I says we just cheese it. These are just their items anyways.
And they kind of all look at you and they like shake their head no as they keep starting stuffing stuff in the bag.
Guys, we gotta go.
I think it's time to wax a gnome.
Give me persuasion check. Whoever wants to make the persuasion check with advantage, as everyone is trying to help you here.
I imagine our warlock probably has the highest charisma.
I was
I
gonna
would
say,
assume so.
ooh, a 23.
Yeah.
Not for that
You
far.
put out this impassioned speech of like, you know, what about your family? Is your life worth this stuff? You know, all the key points. You know, like let's get out of here. And they kind of all nod and they realize, you know, that they're looking at. They've gotten a good substantial amount of what they were looking to get of their haul. There is still a good pile of books and some other miscellaneous gear that they were trying to get out of here. But they're just like, yeah, let's go. And they each all grab an armful themselves as they all start kind of heading towards the hole in the back. And yeah, so you guys are running there with them. I'm assuming as you snag your bag and pass right through. You do manage to just get by the flame as it's kind of expanding, fighting against Barry's control. I'm gonna need you all to roll me another Constitution save as the flames kind of start licking at your sides.
5.
Not one.
15.
Damn it, Ruin.
I know. I've had just as many nat ones as nat 20s tonight.
Okay. So as I will roll some dice here. So as Larry tries to get by, the fire kind of quickly like blows up and, you know, hits him in the chest kind of space, and a massive area of feathers is burnt away as he takes 6 damage. And you can kind of smell like a very crispy chicken smell. It's weirdly delicious and you don't know why you enjoy it.
That says something about juice.
And then Terry, what was your roll on sneaking through
50.
there? Yeah, you managed to kind of sneak through the flame there, and you do take 1 damage just from the sheer heat of the space, but that's it. And then for our last one, Barry, yeah, you aren't, you know, blasted as aggressively by the flames, but they do manage to kind of lick up, and they don't burn any like patches off of you. There is no exposed doar in this space. You keep it, you know, professional, but you do have like a lot of them singed down to about like half feather as you take 3 damage from the fire barreling up onto your face.
All right, let's get out of here.
So yeah, you all scramble through the door, and you get up to the space there of where is your guys' plan of escape at this point. So there is you can go through the window. There is the hole that goes directly out. It's about, again, a doar sized, but you'd have to move the crates out of the way to open it up since you covered it to get up through that top space.
I think
I
take
says
the
we
window.
go through the shitter.
I
We'd
mean,
have to move the crates, wouldn't we?
I can. Oh, okay, I can handle that. I can misty steps over there. It's just got to be within 30 feet.
I mean,
Give me the
all right.
bag. I'll misty steps.
It's a good thing you're my brother.
But where? So you're misty stepping out of the ship, or
Onto our ship. Yeah. Like
yeah, like your ship's on the way, but I feel like in this time, like they would maybe just be kind of approaching. I don't think they would be within 30 feet of your ship, or else, you know, you would have. There would be some identifier at this point of them being that close.
Right.
I think we just bail out the window, guys.
But the window's up. So I feel like it's the difference of going up or pushing a crate. Like it's...
I mean, yeah, how good's our pushing been?
That's true. I got a good dexterity.
All right. Well, yeah, sure. Although, is that goblin still up there?
Yeah, you guys had left the goblin unconscious up on the upper level at the moment, or was unconscious. You're not sure of their current state.
That smoke inhalation, you know.
They are low to the ground though. They're just laying on the floor, so they're about as far away from the smoke as they could hope to be.
I
All
thought
right,
you were
let's
just
push.
gonna
We'll push the
turn
crate.
goblin.
I was gonna say, do we want to go high-low rolls? See what happens?
We'll just push the damn crate.
Yeah.
Okay. strength rolls?
Yeah. How about you all give me a strength check?
Do we
It's
get
an 18.
advantage because we have 3 extra gnomes pushing with us?
They seem currently to be preoccupied in holding their armfuls of their score.
Sons of bitches.
So you
pretty
could,
good.
try and persuade them to drop it and move it, but they're kind of just like sitting there, kind of like waiting for you guys to move it. And are you moving all of the crates in like one big move? Because there are quite a few crates all stacked together to get you up there, or are you gonna try and like disassemble it over space?
I feel like
Some amount of
disassembling
time.
would probably be easiest.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be easiest, but would take you a longer amount of time.
I would like to do another Three Stooges move and just like smack all 3 of them in one swipe, and then just be like, come on.
Yeah,
Tell them
yeah,
to-
you
Get out of here.
throw the gnarly slap across the 3 of them. You see red starting to form on their cheeks. I'm gonna need a persuasion check from you, please, or an intimidation. I feel like
Yeah.
that's intimidation.
Could I argue to make it persuasion? 'Cause I am
Yeah,
not really-
you could.
I
I mean, if you're like going more free, the fact that you slap them to get their focus, and then you're like, get
I
to
feel
it.
like he's like intimidation, persuasion.
Just like Daddy
That's how-
used to say.
Them's the rules, okay? That's a 24.
Yeah, you smack them all across the face, and they're all just like, whatever. And so they throw their stuff to the side, realizing that the small amount that they were carrying in their tiny arms was probably not going to be that substantial of a score anyway, especially compared to what was already in there. And they all go and they start to give you guys an assistance as well on your shoving. So are you guys, you're going the disassemble route or the full push the stack route?
I think we're pushing because we're short on time.
All right.
Yeah, the fire is starting to work its way into the room at this point. Even some of the crates on the edge are starting to catch on fire.
Okay. Oh god.
So yeah, you guys can roll, and all of you roll with advantage as the gnomes are like standing beside each one of you, kind of giving you some backup push.
13.
8.
Sorry, what was that, Ray?
18.
18.
The weakest
Yes.
got the highest.
Yeah. So they all, again, somehow, Terry just has the strength, finds the right leverage, and pushes a third of the stack, the front third of the stack, just like away, and without even the help of the other gnome that was kind of trying to give him some backup, he kind of like left him behind and just stood there and like watched in awe. As the other 2 try and move their stacks, and they don't seem to budge at the moment. So you can either attempt to disassemble them or make a different move, but I am going to need everyone to make a constitution check as the smoke has started to really fill up the room at this point.
14.
15.
So yeah, you all, breathe in some amount, but most of you manage to kind of duck a little bit lower. Barry is unlucky, takes a big breath of the smoke in and is going to take a level of exhaustion.
Oof. Can I prestidigitate some more ice under these boxes to help them slide better?
I don't see why not. I'm just going to look at the spell right quick. It gives you the ability of... God. Fuck trying to spell prestidigitation. There we go. Let's let the auto spell do it for me. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to figure out the whole thing. Like, it makes sense. It looks pretty phonetic, but also
Right.
I'm not going to sound that out. Oh, why are you doing that? I do not want that. Yeah, whatever. We will say that you are able, and you put some ice underneath of it, and you are able to give yourself another shot at trying to push them with this new take on the side of it. And yeah, so you guys can all still push again with advantage. And let's say even give yourself +2 to your rolls with the fact that the ice is giving you guys some extra slide too.
So the advantage would cancel out the disadvantage that I have from exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Also 15.
16.
16. Yeah, so you all, with your combined force, are able to push the last 2 crates out of the way just far enough that you can see the hole underneath of it. As the flames are starting to get really close to you guys at this point, you all start jumping through the hole, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all start jumping through the hole, and you kind of get plopped out one at a time as you just kind of like, jump, cross your arms, and fall through the hole kind of thing. And so your ship from the distance is starting to get, close enough to you guys. You see it off in the distance. From their view, they just see these 3 little masses fall out, and then after like another second, another 3 even smaller masses fall out, and you all are just kind of adrift in the astral sea. with your small air envelopes as your ship begins pulling up beside you, just in time as you guys are starting to, run a little bit low on your oxygen. And they, throw out a rope to you as these other, crew of all Dowar. Obviously you guys are all Dowar all day. You like to work within the family, all cousins, sisters, uncles, brothers. It's a family business for sure. As they throw you guys the ropes and pull you in, and then they kind of look at the other three, kind of just like sitting there floating, giving you all like an eye of like, hey, where's our rope kind of thing, and they ask you like, are we picking them up too?
I mean,
No?
I don't know. Are we that evil?
Eh,
Take their stuff and leave.
we're ethically gray. I feel like they're with us this far.
Yeah.
So they all kind of take your advice there, and they go and they tuck them out another rope and pull them in, and they all kind of give you a nod of appreciation, just kind of like look around the ship, waiting to be told if there's anything that they need to be focused on doing or anything, as you guys kind of fly off into the sunset to get away with your score. You open up your bag, you dump it all out, you count out all the swords. You got the right amount of swords. The armor you're not super happy. You did lose one screw. That's probably not too big of a deal, but like you made it out there, and you take your ring of keys that you'd pilfered, open up the chest, and inside does appear to be the two. You're not sure of specifically what the magic scrolls were. That's maybe outside of your pay grade, maybe not, who knows, but they are two magic scrolls like you were expecting in an ornate chest.
Perfect.
Lock it all up immediately.
Yeah, you guys go down into your space, and you don't only just have like a brig, you have a full safe built into your ship. You're very shrewd, and only you three know the code as you unlock it, hide it, put it all the way in there. You see a lot of other gear. You guys just have like wall to wall stored of all these various stuff, magical helms. You have a flying carpet just kind of floating off in the side, holding some other miscellaneous magical stuff on top of it. It is quite the menagerie of fine gear that you guys acquire for Gary, keeping the Emporium well stocked.
The trick is that it takes 3 Dowa arms to unlock it at the same time.
Terry's just like borrowed the quarterstaff he's smacking the magic carpet to try and keep it in there because it always tries to fly out.
Slowly working its way out. Yeah, but you guys throw all your items in there, seal up the the door, and go off to your various business. And that is the end of our first, and who knows, hopefully not last, escapade with Barry, Larry, and Terry.
Awesome. Thanks for an awesome session, Jaden. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was good. We didn't even take a break. That's how
Yeah.
focused we were in it. I noticed. I looked down. I was like, oh, it's 9, and we're not at a break, and we seem like we're still in it. Let's go full tilt.
To be fair,
Alright.
We started late.
So,
Yeah.
All right. We'll go around and do our plugs and everything. Rick, you can go first.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Rick. I'm the GM for Hammer of the Gods. Check us out here on Twitch and wherever you get your podcasts.
Awesome. Ruben.
Hey, I'm Ruben Ortega. I am one of 4 hosts of Cantrips and Coffee, the tabletop podcast where we tell you where to spend your hard-earned money on different systems besides the ones that we may be playing right now, because there's a lot out there and we want you to check it out.
Awesome. Jaden.
Before I throw out mine, I will quickly throw in our missing compatriot, Kayla. She is part of 2 people that do the Potions and Potpourri podcast. I'm sure they would love it if you check them out. I'm assuming they're on all of the major podcast stuff and probably all of the major social medias as well. Actually, I know for a fact they're definitely hitting some of the social medias really hard. And then for myself, I run a small tabletop accessories, minis, and terrain business. We're Discount Engineering. Just Google us, we'll pop up. It's a pretty a random enough name that we show up on first page, so I'm excited about that choice. But yeah, check me out, and if you ever need any assistance on taking your table to that kind of next level, start throwing some funky stuff on there, just shoot me a message.
Can confirm. He makes some awesome stuff. Awesome. And I'm Cade. I'm also part of Cantrips and Coffee, but I also build handmade electric guitars at Ravencroft Guitars. You can check me out on all the social media and YouTube and all that jazz. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to kick it to an ending screen here, and then we are going to raid. We're going to raid Total Party Chill because they're still live, and
We rated them last time, and they were super grateful for it. So we're gonna do that again. So make sure you stick around for that. Give them some love, and we will see you guys again in a couple of weeks for another one of our regular spell jamming streams. I'll also be streaming some video games next week, Monday. If you want to come and hang out, that would be awesome. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.